downhill mountain biking originating from the slopes. In the winter, the people ski, and in the summer, they mountain bike. And we don't have the luxury of a ski lift here, but possibly in the future, it could be something that the city of Maritzburg might just well look at. But when you look down from the top of the downhill start, 2.8 kilometers up the course, 4 minutes minus for what it's going to take the top riders to get down. It certainly is spectacular. The city of Pietermaritzburg nestled in a hollow, almost a crater here, and just under 700 vertical meter drop down from the top to the 2.8 kilometers. There's your first lady, he's super fast. 9 seconds gone. Victoria Phillips from South Africa is on the course as we speak. Rena Johnny from France, her run on Friday was around 4 minutes 41.8 seconds. But keep your eye on that clock. From the experience, you will find the confidence coming down the hole. But you can expect her around by 5.5 minutes. That'll be your going time. Alright guys, on the back, get ready. I'm going to give you a live feed shortly, so get ready. I want you guys up and loud over there. There's your live feed. I'll tell you when you're going to switch over to the camera and get ready to go when they cut across to you. Alright, remember www.mtvworldcupsa.co.za for the latest and greatest, the what's what, the who's who, and what's going on right here. This is the UCI Mountain World Cup is there in March. Get ready to rumble. This is what it's all about. The first time ever in South Africa, the triple downhill full cross and cross country right here in Pietermaritzburg, your city of truth and your city of choice. There they are, there's the live feed to the boys. Let's hear it from the chef, all the supporters, ready to rumble. Kim Phillips, course designer and course follower, been living on the course for the last 14 months from Pietermaritzburg. His daughter, Victoria Phillips, on the course right now. 1 minute and 43 seconds down. Get ready for a big South African welcome for Victoria Phillips. Racing her very first World Cup right here in the hometown of Pietermaritzburg. We're up to 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, sports fans. Welcome to Pietermaritzburg here in South Africa. We're about an hour outside Durban, about a 15-hour drive it seemed outside Johannesburg if you were stupid enough to drive it like us. I'm Rob Warner. Joining me in the booth is Troy, the Captain Mannering.
Oh no, you didn't go there.
The English fans will love it, Troy. We're here for round 1 of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup 2009. We have got the blue ribbon event. You've already seen 4 cross and cross country. This is it, the big one, the men and women's downhill. Troy, it's been pretty thrilling. We had qualifying Thursday and already there's been some upsets for the book.
Yeah, Mick Hanna came in after taking a year off. You were talking to him a while ago and he just absolutely blew the clock away. I mean, what do you say about a guy like this that's been off for over a year just doing nothing and comes back and, you know, loses a goose down the course and top time of the day in the qualifying?
Well, you know, Troy, I've got absolutely just total respect for sick Mick Hanna. I mean, he got a bit burnt out with it. He's an incredible talent on a bicycle, but sponsors and a few other things didn't quite go his way in 07. And for 08, he disappeared, and we spoke to him. He's told me that he was playing cricket every day and working as a landscape gardener. And he swears, he says no one believes him, but every day on his way to work he walked by his bike. And for 12 months he didn't touch it. And then, you know, start of the year, just a few months back, he said he started training January 1st because he'd gone to the Australian Nationals, which were 4 kilometres from his house, purely why he went for a laugh. He won it by 10 seconds, and the dream continues for Hanna. Here he is. Thursday we had the semis. The man is fastest qualifier. I mean, he has took it to him on another level. I mean, he's got GT behind him, and he's obviously happy. So if Mick Hanna can keep his head this afternoon, we could see a real upset to the birds.
Yeah, it's a new sponsor for him as well, GT, so that could be a little bit of a fresh feeling as well. We got some other riders on the women's side, for instance. Tracy Mosley's jumped over to Trek, and she's the fastest qualifier for the ladies, and she was looking very strong this year.
Yeah, Tracy Mosley, I mean, it's like you said, she was on Kona, I think, for a lifetime. Moved to Trek, she's got a new bike. I think it's about 15 stone lighter than the than the Kona she's been riding. New motivation. Martin Whiteley's put together an incredible team there with Trek. So we're going to see Needling as well in action, local boy on the Trek team.
Needles.
So yeah, I mean it's the first round of the year. We've got a lot of new riders. One big news while we're starting to see these women filter down this track here is that current world champion Rachel Atherton won't be riding. She had a nasty injury. She actually rode headfirst into a truck in America training in the winter. I think she had her headphones on and she was doing sprints. I'm not sure if she thought she was in England and was on the wrong side of the road or not. But Rach, we know you're listening and we wish you all the best and we really want you back. We need it. The women's field needs you. She's really got a bad shoulder injury, nerve damage, which unfortunately you can't do a lot for. You've just got to let it get better slowly. And she still, I think, has to have a surgery. We're hopefully going to get Dan Brown, team manager, in here later. She still has to have a surgery when her shoulder's ready and then recover from that. So I'm not sure when we're going to see Rach back in action, but for sure we will, and she will be fast.
Yeah, hopefully soon. It's always good to have the full G or the full Atherton family out there, G, Dan, and Rachel. I mean, they've really brought a new kind of attention to the sport because it's really the first family of mountain biking now as they become more media savvy and they've started to get the attention that the mountain biking world sort of really deserves and hasn't had so much in the last few years.
Well, that's right, Troy. I mean, you know, the Athertons, I mean, yeah, they are a lot more media savvy than they used to be, but they used to just want to ride their bikes, and who can blame them? And look at the results it's given them. And now they've got people like Red Bull on board, massive corporations behind them, deservedly so. And they're starting to turn it on, but I don't think they're ever going to let it interfere with the way they ride their bikes. That is what they do, and we're going to see world champion G here this afternoon. Tearing this course apart. He looks like Bruce Lee at the moment. He showed me his quarter-inch punch straight through a 6-foot concrete wall. The man's on fire. So, yeah, it's going to be an amazing men's final. That's definite. Minar was second qualifier.
Right, next up is the rider from Greece, Maria. You can see her coming down now past the PCM crowning.
We've got paperwork everywhere.
Yeah, it's a mess.
As ever.
Yeah, Minar was the second qualifier behind Mick Kovaric. Chris Kovaric was the third, and Steve Pete was in there qualifying in spot number 4.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're looking at the women's here now. So looking back to last year, Rachel Atherton, obviously World Cup winner. She's missing. You got Sabrina Johnnier, though. World ranked number 2 last year in the World Cup. She's here. We're going to see Tracy Mosley, 3rd in last year's World Cup. Emmeline Rigaud, the French girl, in 4th last season. Florian Pougin was 5th. Bjorn Griffith was 6th from the UK. Claire Boucher, who recently got married to Chris Kavarik. Their husband and wife on the same team. I bet that's a nightmare for Nigel Page. Miriam Nicole was 10th. Apparently they keep the whole team up every night.
No,
yeah.
You didn't just say that. Nigel, he didn't mean it, really.
Nigel, poor old Nigel.
I've seen him walking around the pits here a little bit with a huge floppy hat on.
Trying to protect that bald head of his, man. The sun's beating down in here. You're going to get sunstroke in about 5 minutes. We actually had a little bit of rain on Friday, which, I mean, this track, as you can see there, is incredibly hard packed. It's rock solid, and a little bit of rain, it was like an ice skating rink for the practice on Friday.
Yeah, but it's dried up really well over the last couple of days. Yesterday was the first day after, an overnight rainstorm. We had good hot temperatures, sun beating down in bluebird skies the entire day yesterday. Everything dried up really nicely. Track's looking a lot faster today because it is hard packed and dry, but you actually walked the track the other day, Rob, and for those people out there that are watching the show live on freecaster.tv, you can check out the track walk with Rob. It's the Fox Racing Shocks course walk, and there's a bit of a description there, but just for the people that are tuning in here and watching live and don't want to shift over, give us a brief description of this incredibly long track here in Pietermaritzburg.
Yeah, I think it's 3.4 kilometers long. I mean, it's taken the guys just under the 4 minutes, but expect that to be quicker this afternoon. I think you'll find that will go down to sort of 3 minutes 40.
2.8.
2.8, sorry. I started.
We got that from the sidelines here. Our cameraman Martin looked at us, shook his head, and said, "Nah, 2.8, guys."
Well done, Martin. Thanks for that. Real thanks.
We're well informed here in the booth. Well informed, I tell you.
Loving your work, dude. No one would have known.
Wait a minute, you're a cameraman. What are you doing in here, huh? Get out there.
Yeah, and I mean, the top section, we've got a nice steep technical section up top there. Probably the first 45 seconds, 30-45 seconds. A couple of big rock sections, really steep, really technical, like a European track. Then it comes into this super high speed, wide open section, and believe me, there is time to be made there if you've got the balls to stay off the brakes, because I mean it's like 40-50 mile an hour, massive jumps and big fly-offs everywhere. You can go as big as far as you like. Then you've got a couple of big tabletops which are pretty flat, and then you have got the most grueling, I think, flat section probably that we've ever seen on a World Cup track. I mean, I'm talking like a minute of just these guys are going to have to bury
Cross country section.
It's incredible. Yeah, I mean it is downhill slightly, but it's hard, man. And you know, you only got to look at the qualifying results to see that they're going to struggle a little, because the more technical riders, Sam Hill, not really in there. His teammate Fairclough in there. You've got Petey, you got Minar, you got Hanna, you got Kovarik. All the big guns. Kovarik, incidentally, you know, on flat pedals there. That was an incredible ride to see him right up there.
Yeah, that is incredible, because those clip-ins make it much easier for you to, we say, pedal in squares in order to get that suck from the back of your leg forward. And having flat pedals, you don't have that advantage going across the flat. So that says a lot about Chris Kovarik and Mick Hanna, you know, coming along that section and just absolutely pounding away.
Yeah, I mean, them boys, they're big, strong, Aborigine Stowe Aussies, isn't they? They're huge, man. The calves on Kovarik. You certainly wouldn't want to get in a fight with a fella, but not that he fights most nights of the week. But yeah, it's a rough section. I was speaking to Hill about it as well, and he said it's just bumpy enough to bump your feet around on the flat pedals, and you know, your feet are constantly slipping forward, so you have to ease off a little and just move your feet back. So yeah, definitely a disadvantage. But then you drop down here into what we're seeing on our live feed here now, into this vast open section. Some big step ups, big step downs, and we've got a massive triple into the finish line here that during practice, when everyone's tired, we saw a few people going down pretty hard. So there's Helen Gaskell just finishing her run.
What should be noted too is that there are only 2 ladies in the finals here for the downhill that actually competed in the four-cross yesterday. Melissa Buell and Tracy Mosley. Fiona Griffiths.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. You know, these sports, I mean, realistically, I mean, you might get away with it in the women's, but if you want to be in the top 5 in the men's, you're probably going to need your horsepower today, and that's why we don't see so many of these guys crossing over anymore, you know. I mean, it's just that both the disciplines are incredibly individual now, specialist, and yeah, it's going to be, you know, you're going to have tired legs. I mean, how long was that four-cross track last night? Even that was a minute 10 seconds.
750 meters long, something like that. It was ridiculous.
It was the longest four-cross I've ever seen as well. So,
but you got Dan Atherton, he raced in the four-cross. Unfortunately, he didn't do as well as he had hoped, but he's on the list there.
That's going to give him fresh legs for today, eh?
Gracia is also in the list there. Gracia is a mess, though, hey?
Yeah, Gracia. You know, I feel really bad for CG. I mean, we love him here on Freecaster. He always comes in the booth. I think we're going to hopefully see him this afternoon. The wild Frenchman. We've told him to watch his language, but we will apologise in advance. But hopefully CG's going to come in and see us. But yeah, he had a big crash in practice. And, you know, I mean, the guy's a mess anyway. There isn't really a part of his body he's not wearing a brace for. He's got a Leert brace on his neck, braces on his wrists, knee braces, and he's still managed to destroy. He thinks he's destroyed his ACL, so his knee does look like a water balloon, I must admit.
You know, we saw him in the in the coffee shop last night on the way out, and he was sitting there with a self-administered bandage set up on his knee, and we asked him, "So, are you going to take it easy and rest?" And he says, "Hell no! I'm racing tomorrow. I'm going to go all out. I didn't train the whole winter long to, you know, sit here on my butt." No,
that's right. I mean, he is lean. I think he said he's down to his fighting weight that he was when he was about 14 years old. I've never seen him look so lean and mean. Not since he was a youth. So, yeah, CG going to be action. So, who's this on track, Troy? A Swiss rider. I think this might be Emily Siegenthaler. Yeah, let's see what she can do. So that's part of the four-cross track there from last night. The soil here incredibly loose, as you can see. The little bit of rain we had the other day made the top section like an ice skating rink. It probably helped a little bit down here. You can see it's so loose. Incidentally, most of the guys here this afternoon, I was just speaking to G a minute ago in the huge Oakley setup we have here. Oh, Oh, she's took her apart. Nearly 10 seconds ahead.
There you go,
For
Emily
Siegenthaler.
Siegenthaler.
Yeah, what a ride. Helen Gaskell then moving into second. Siegenthaler going to get in the hot seat. But she looks happy with that. I thought she'd look a bit more out of breath. I didn't put enough effort in, love. Eh? And pedals turning. Oh no, she's starting.
She's out.
She's starting showing now. But yeah, and I spoke to G and he said, I guess you're running a slick on the back. And he was like, well, actually, yeah, I think we're probably going to run a slick front and back. So I think that kind of tells you the style of the course. Not that many corners. It's going to be hard for the big guys. You know, the guys we saw, Blenky and all those guys that were right up there at Schladming. You couldn't really. This is completely the other end of the spectrum. Don't forget, people, as well. You can send us questions. No, you can't do that. You have to send it through the webpage. Will, what is that? Yeah, so obviously you're already there if you're listening to this. Yeah. Have we got this? Is freecaster embedded everywhere, or is it just freecaster? Right. So you need to go to www.freecaster.tv, and we have got a live questions and answers session. You can send us anything you want. You can call us what you want. It just won't go.
Well, you can be careful with that one.
We got first question for you. Who do you think you will win today? We've told you a little bit about the track. Who's your money on, Troy, for the men's?
Well, that's a tough one. We've got some great experience in there with PD, you know, and I mean, he's always a guy that tends to, I mean, if he's having an on day, and he looked real comfortable and real healthy and real relaxed coming into this event. So, I mean, if he's having an on day, he can rip this course to pieces and really surprise everybody. But then again, you know, there is Sick Mick, and he really made a statement there. He raised the bar for this particular course on the qualifying. So, I mean, it's anybody's guess. I'm going to go with Steve Pete at this point.
And, Pedersen's done Siegenthaler there.
Johanna Patterson is a South African rider, so she's got the support of the audience behind her. Quite a quick rider, too. We saw it, she came across the line and has taken over first place here, so good for her, and she's stoked.
Yeah, I'll give you a clue, everyone at home. If Sick Mick can keep his head, because he is, what should we say?
Loose as a goose?
Yeah, loose as a wizard's cuff. Then, and he keeps it upright, mate, then, you know, we could see Mick there, but I think I said to Mine Whiteley about half an hour ago, here's Sabrina Jonier then.
Sabrina Jonier
First
got a
of
new
the real
sponsor
big
this
guns.
year.
Yeah, that's
She's jumped over to Rocky Mountain and sticking with the pink frame on the bike, as it seems to be a lucky charm for her. Sabrina Jonier from France.
Oh, she goes big off the step down. The guys are flying off there too. Jonier then, a two-time world champion. And my money this afternoon, with the absence of Rachel Atherton, is that we're going to see Jonier and Tracy Mosley really battling out. I really, on this kind of a track, can't see anyone getting close to those two, but I think the two powerful girls these are. They can both pedal. It's got some technical. These are the big guns here. I'm pretty sure Rachel Atherton, maybe this injury hasn't bothered her too much till now, her brother Dan said, but I'm sure she's sitting at home, and this ain't going to be a very nice afternoon for her when she wants to be riding. So, yeah, she'll be watching with interest, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think we have to also keep an eye on Emmeline Ragot from France as well.
Yeah.
This is the kind of track that favors her type of riding. Fionn Griffiths is always a factor here, and we did say yesterday that she's looking a little bit healthier this year as she's coming into this event, but she did ride the 4-cross yesterday, and let's keep an eye here as
Destroyed her.
Sabrina Jonier absolutely destroyed her, 13 seconds ahead.
Shaking her head though, she doesn't look happy. This is looking good for Timo. Tracy Mosley, we'll see her. She was fastest qualifier. Incidentally, Tracy, I know you're at the top and won't be able to hear this, but it's her 30th birthday today. So happy birthday
to you. A benchmark birthday. Nicely done. Congratulations. You survived.
I really enjoyed
Now life really
year.
begins to get fun. What do you mean you enjoyed yours last year?
30th was a big one. So get your questions rolling in. That's ouch! Yeah, that's an easy one to answer. We're kind of at the mercy of the UCI. They've done what they can here. You've got to remember that we are in South Africa. We've had all sorts of technical problems this week. The internet is not what it should be. And,
incredibly slow.
We've had truck strikes. Apparently, truck drivers getting threatened if they drive the trucks to the top. So Yeah, it's been an interesting week for sure. So yeah,
not to mention the fact that this is an incredibly long course too, and that's a super expensive process to get that done.
No, it's been a difficult week, I guess, but we're going to be back in Europe soon, and the coverage will be back to the awesome cameras we had last year for sure. So
Melissa Buell on course right now, and we talked to her in the finish area the other day. As we mentioned, she raced in 4-cross, and she told us, yeah, she's going to focus on it a little while longer, but she wants to go to medical school.
Yep.
She's written her MCAT, so we wish her the best of luck, and she wants to become an endocrinologist.
Yep, Mr. Mueller, last year's reigning world 4-cross champion. Not short of some horsepower that would have come really into effect on that middle section, but I mean, you can see just how tired these girls are. Beauty looks pretty wrecked coming in this bottom section. Yeah, riding for KHS, and for sure, you know, Troy, last night would have affected her. You know, she was here till 7 o'clock last night doing 4-cross, and her legs will not be as fresh as they should be. You can't prepare for that. The fatigue has to be there, but she's back on the gas.
Let's see here. She's off the mark here. Let's see what kind of a position out of first place she's going to get.
12 back,
12 back in second place, so you can see the difference there. And, you know, the difference is Sabrina Jeannier rested it up, only did her training runs in the downhill. Melissa Buell racing in both events here, so that definitely had an effect.
Absolutely, yeah. No question about it. It's going to be tiring for her. So I think next up is
Miriam Nicole.
Well done, Troy. I like it when you cover my back like that.
I got your butt.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure when you have my butt, mate. Yeah, it is. So Jeannier then in the hot seat. Next rider on track. This is towards the bottom.
Another French rider, and the French riders seem to be super fast on these courses. I mean, we've got great French riders, Emeline Rago, Sabrina Jeannier, and now we're looking at Miriam Nicole. I mean, what is it they're feeding these kids in France that's creating these
escargots?
Escargot! Come on, fellas!
They love the snails, dude. They love that garlic, slippery stuff. I won't go near. The tyre choice, well, like I just said, we were speaking to G a minute ago. All the guys for sure on the back will be running. Well, some of them are probably going to run semi-slicks, but most of them, I think, are going to be running a cut down. You know, they cut the centre knobbles out of a normal knobbly tyre there. Oh, big mistake there. And yeah, I mean, G actually told me he's running one on the front, and why wouldn't you? Because from what we can see, well, I know from walking it, you know, bar the top 30 seconds of the track, there isn't that many corners on it. So, and you don't need the knobbles to be able to stop it. You know, the worst thing I used to find being quite heavy with a slick though was that, you know, when you brake it really doesn't do anything. You lock the back wheel up and you just keep going. But on this sort of a track where it's just flat out, it ain't going to make no difference. You ain't going to be touching the brakes. You really want to be just carrying the speed. So yeah, I expect to see some of the guys running at front and back, and you know, in fact I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them running 700Cs front and back for that middle section.
It's a bit of a poker game with the tires though, because you got to choose a tire that's going to be durable enough to get you down the course, especially if there's a lot of sharp rocks and stones like we have here.
Yeah, I saw Nathan Rennie with a flat actually this week. He's the only guy I did, but he is probably twice the weight of anyone else here.
Yeah, but that's something you have to consider as well, you know, because if you get a flat out there, well, then it's no point in even bothering here.
Who's this? Graphics.
Florine Pougin.
Not up. Florian Pougin. Brilliant. Iron Horse, Kenda Playbiker. 5th in 08. She looked like she was moving through that middle section then. First girl we've seen her hop over the top of there. The big step down, then through those rocks. If you get it wrong there, you're in real trouble.
And she's looking quite good here. She's got a solid start at the top of the course, and she's maintaining her speed. She's getting on the pedals when she can to keep that speed going, and she was nice and smooth through the rock garden. She popped that jump really nicely, and she's back on the pedals there, pushing hard. It's going to be difficult to see whether or not she's actually fast enough to catch up to Sabrina Jeannier, who is currently the leader with a good 12 seconds lead over the second place lady.
Yeah, I hope, Troy, that we get some on-screen graphics with some times would be nice.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and some names wouldn't hurt. Let's see what we got on the on our live in-house computer here. Nothing.
The $1 million question.
Sean Palmer is definitely not here today. I think I know where he is, but I'm not saying. I'm speaking to Petey about it. Palms, you probably ain't listening, but we do want to see you back this year. I'm speaking with Roscoe about it, and hopefully we're going to have Team Santa Cruz. So she's 7 seconds back there for Florian. So yeah, and you know, we spoke to Rob Roscoe, Santa Cruz Syndicate team owner, about it, and he said he'd love to get him to a race this year, and he's hoping to get him to a race this year. Probably not as much as us, but he did actually say it looked unlikely. So Palmer not here today. I think he's been concentrating on snowboarding. But fingers crossed we'll see him.
He got himself deep into some motorsports there for a while. He was racing stock car a little bit, and I think he might have even tried to get into Indy kart a while back there. But he was spending quite a lot of his money on getting himself a little team together.
I think he spent all of his money.
I think he spent all of his money on that team.
God, I think it's all gone.
Just a note of interest there, Florian Pougin from France came across the line 7 seconds off pace, so she sits in second place right now. And we've got Fionn Griffiths, the Norco rider from Great Britain, who spends a fairly significant amount of her time training in Whistler in the off-season.
That's right. So Fionn Griffiths on track. We saw her in action last night. She's a World Cup veteran, 6th in the 08 World Cup. And she was, like we say, going to have some tired legs, but she's having a go at these big jumps.
And the split time looks good for her right now. She's +3,
oh,
so
we've
she's
got
currently in second.
Great. So there you go. +3 up. That's not too bad. She could pull that back on this bottom section. But I think Sabrina probably would have liked to have been a little bit further ahead of her than she is. Fionn there running one of the Leo braces. So I'm hoping to get it for free, but I keep mentioning them every 5 minutes.
Don't you have to still ride to warrant wearing one of those things, Rob?
Yeah, I just want it for cross country, and I think it'll look cool.
Hey? You never know when you might hit that tree coming down those small
I
hills.
want some roach clothes and a Norco and a neck brace, and I'm there, dude. You know what I'm saying? Give me a camel back, and I can just fit in with the midlife crisis 40-year-olds that go by my house every Sunday.
+4 off pace, and that puts Fionn Griffiths in second place, and we're starting to get some interesting racing happening here for the ladies.
So we're hotting up then. Fionn Griffiths was 4th qualifier, so we're into the top 3, and we've got Claire Boucher next. For some reason she's not called Claire Kavarik, but she married him this winter. So Claire Boucher riding for Chain Reaction Cycles. Nigel Page will be nervously pacing around the finish area, watching sunburn on his bald head.
Writing down notes on the side of his clipboard.
Yeah. Pagey actually, you know, he went to Chain Reaction, and fair play to him, he got himself a wicked team together. So here she is, here's Claire. Yeah, 3rd fastest qualifier. Kavarik's been up there showing us some lines. But look how tired they are. You see her sitting down there, just getting a little break wherever they can. The key, Troy, on this middle section is they have absolutely... Look how smooth she was.
So smooth.
Yeah, wasn't it?
It was really smooth.
Best we've seen by a long way.
Claire Bouchard is a bit of a dark horse rider here. You know, she's
getting better and better.
She's getting better and better, but I think that's also a bit of the influence of her man, you know?
Yeah.
And definitely, if the two of them are out there training together and pushing each other, then we're going to see Claire...
3rd at the split, Troy.
There you go. We're going to see Claire pushing
back.
up in the ranking a bit more.
She's going to be lucky to pull that back on this bottom section. I think
she's going to have to really pound on it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anyone to make, to make a lot of time here. There's that big hip jump. You're going to hopefully see the guys clearing that, dropping into another gravity cavity. But
she's gotten on her seat quite a lot here, so I think, I mean, like you say, she's super tired, and yeah, the deal is you got to try and stay out of the saddle as much as possible and just keep pounding whenever you get the opportunity, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you've always got to keep pounding, Troy. There's no question about pounding. So, no, what do you want about? Of course you have. It's all about that. Keep it going. So, Troy, just interesting there. She's 3rd, 5.5 line back. Looking out the window, Troy, and looking at the course there, I see a lot of wind in the trees, and it's actually darkening up here a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of cloud cover in. The forecast was for rain this afternoon, but, you know, they forecasted rain the other day, and it just sort of drizzled a little bit. So hopefully we will manage to avoid any possibility of the wet stuff coming down here, as Emmeline Rago is now on course with the plate number 4 on her bike.
Yeah, Emmeline Rago riding for the suspension centre. She likes to be called the princess, her team manager told us earlier. So I don't know what she's doing in the split, but 2nd fastest qualifier. Emily Rago. After this, we have just got Tracy Mosley, who will be sitting nervously in the start gate right now. TM 30 today, a veteran of the World Cup. So Rago flying down that step down. She's moving.
Rago's going to have a good split time here, I think. Let's have a look.
Yeah, she's hardly anyone to get on the gas there through that rock section.
She was nice and smooth through that rock garden.
Yeah, she's carrying good speed and she's giving it everything. Look,
she's ahead by 2 seconds here at the split. Nice.
Oh, Rago is on fire. She's looking like she's giving it all, Troy. Even her head was wobbling, man. She is throwing everything into this. There is nothing to hold back for, though. Once the girls get like halfway down onto that pedaling section, Hannah said it is brutal. You have just got to bury yourself. It is an all-out assault. Although, you don't want to get so tired, you can't actually get through here. So, a little bit of damage limitation, I guess, but it's pretty much grueling. On the gas, front high there. She's tired. She's tired. She's going for the double.
She's still going for it. She's still pushing hard. Oh, it's going to be really close here, coming across the finish line, but she's going to take the spot. Oh, she's got it with a 2-second lead. First place goes to Emmeline Rago.
Yes.
And she'll sit in the hot seat now with Tracy Mosley still to come.
Yeah, this is it then. Tracy Mosley, the veteran. She's motivated. Last won the World Cup in 2006. A 5 times national champion. Here she is. Timo's on track. This is the technical top section we were telling you about.
Looking good through this section here.
Yeah, Tracy Mosley.
She's got those big Fox dampers on the front end that's helping to keep her steady and stable, huh?
Yeah, and the bike, that's the main thing. I mean, she's just so happy, I think, to have a much lighter bike. She said that she could just feel the change of direction with it so much easier. It's such a lot easier for her to chuck about. Mosley on the step down safely. I'm sure her mum and dad are watching back home. This could be the dream birthday for her. What's the split going to say, Troy? I think she's going to be up.
It's going to be -3, maybe even 4 seconds at the split.
Different line through there. She missed all the rocks that were taking a speed. She's going to be up, I'm sure, unless there's something we haven't seen. Mosley looking strong there.
-6. Oh my
she has
destroyed
them. Mosley has given herself the 30th birthday present she wanted.
She just needs to keep the rubber side down now, all the way down with the -6 there. She's 6 seconds ahead of pace.
Surely only a lightning strike will stop her, and you'd be unlucky around here for one of those. But Mosley absolutely hauling. Come on, Tracy. She's got a couple more turns to hold it together through. Timo. I'm sure she's going to take her apart. She's done it,
no
Troy.
No doubt about it here.
Oh, Mike Whiteley will be thrilled. Her first time out on a trek.
Yes.
6.3 up for Mosley. She has took them apart. Wicked riding there for Triem. Excellent. There's Martin Whiteley, team owner. There's some goons looking like pistons going up and down in the background.
No.
That's genius. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. So Tracy Mosley then can be well happy with that. Straight into the lead there. Leading the 2009 UCI World Cup. It's Timo all the way so far, and she will be desperate to take this title this year. And she's with the absence of Rachel Athen, things are going to be a lot different. Yeah, definitely. Poor old Rachel's going to be watching this at home.
Now Rachel will have to come back by the 3rd event at the very latest if she wants to have a chance to catch up with the ladies.
That's right, and I mean, from what I gather, that might be a bit of a push. So maybe there's Timo in slow-mo, dude. Look at the power of the girl. The guns were firing on all. Just trying to get some more graphics sorted here for us. Well, there she is, Tracy Mosley then. Get the Oakley goggles around your neck, girl. It's all about it. Excellent. So, the men are rolling up next.
So Tracy Mosley wins this one hands down with a 6-second lead over Emmeline Rago, who will take 2nd place. And Sabrina Jeannier will have the 3rd place notched on her belt for this year's start.
Just awesome to get the win.
I don't think, unfortunately, we haven't got the audio for her interview, which is a shame.
Super happy, had a pretty good run, hit nearly all my lines, only a couple of sketchy moments, but just really tried to dig deep on the pedalling because I knew that's where most of the time was going to be made up. So
okay, you're watching freecaster.tv. Send us your questions off the webpage. Any questions coming in? Well, has everyone been a bit slack this afternoon? What we got?
It's been good. It's certainly tough.
Step into the mic,
pedaling out
Will.
there's pretty hard and, some really good top sections.
No.
By the way, you want to
It
see the
does get
mics we're
pretty
using down there? They're like 1960s BBC football.
Yeah, they're called lip mics, and you got to stick this metal rod up your nose and then talk into the front end of the thing. And after a while, spitting into it as Rob does, they start to stink.
This one stunk before I got it. I don't know where it's been.
Oy.
I've got a bit of a rash appearing on my top lip. Well, job well done there for Tracy Mosley. So, unfortunately, have we got the results and the times up anywhere? No.
No.
We're in South Africa. Nothing works much. We'd like to give you a rundown of the top 10, but our producer just run out the door to see what he could sort out for us.
Yeah, the most important ones, though, are Mosley, Rago, and Jonier, the top 3. So those are the ones we'll see on the podium later on for the awards ceremony when they dole out all that prize money. Speaking of prize money, what did the ladies walk away with here? 10,000 euros or $10,000 top prize money for first place, isn't it?
I think it might have been. Here we go. Tracy Mosley, 420. You got Rago then, only 600ths back, so she made a stellar effort. Or is that 6 seconds back? Excuse me.
6 seconds.
Sorry, I forgot myself there. It's not Formula 1. Sabrina Jonier, 3rd. Fionn Griffiths, 4th. Claire Boucher, 5th. Florian Pougin, 6th. Melissa Buell in 7th. World 4-cross champion. Pretty good effort for her. Johanna Peterson from local girl for South Africa, 22 seconds back. Emily Siegenthaler, 27. English rider Helen Gaskell was 11th. Sarah Newnham from the UK, 12th. Anka Martin, 13th. Someone's name I can't pronounce in 14th. I'm not even going to attempt. Oh, you go for that one. Go for that one. What we got going on? Were you fixing all that stuff up for us? Don't get mic shy.
Come on, Rob.
Same as ever.
You got to give the guy a bit of a break, eh?
Yeah. What's that big thing he's blowing into? It's one of those things Rolf Harris
What's that big
uses
thing
all
he's
the
blowing
time,
into?
A trumpet.
A trumpet. Didgeridoo, mate. Didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo, yeah. Rolf Harris actually lives just around the corner from me. Yeah, I haven't seen him, but I've heard him. Not serious. There's this constant like breathing through his nose and out through his mouth. Slow-mo and Timo there. Dropping that huge drop. The guys are going to be rocking out of there this afternoon. So we've got the top 70 men. This is round 1 of the 2000 UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. 2009!
You did it again!
Oh my God, dude! I don't even know what year it is.
Was 2000 a good year
Why
for
do I
you?
keep
It's been
leaving
stuck in your head, huh?
No, I was already finished. Go back to 96, it was all right. I don't know why I keep harping about that. What's wrong with me? How can I forget the 9 all the time?
I don't know, man. It's always hard for me to, but I always forget to write it down.
Whatever you do, pull me up on it, will you?
Yeah, I'll make sure of it.
Jesus Christ, stick that in your twat nav, and Peters Marisburg is where you'll end up. Woo! Will stressed. Don't worry, we'll get away with little bits like that. Oh, that's a great question.
That's a great question, but I'll give it to Rennie.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone heard that on the mic. Who would win a wrestling match, Rennie or Kvaric? Would ya?
Weight advantage to Rennie.
Yeah, but just all out, nasty, abusive, wanna win. Yeah. I think Kvaric might get it, dude. His hands are like clubs, the guy, isn't they?
He's got the biggest hands in mountain biking, or downhill anyway.
God damn, I wouldn't get in a fight with him. I've seen him have a few fights. He stayed in Henley with me a few years ago, actually, and I put him and my friend Michael Ronin in a hotel down there. They stayed in a hotel. They couldn't bear to have to go outside to use the toilet at my house. And Kvaric got locked out, and instead of throwing a stone at the window to get back in, he threw a brick straight through it. And Ronnie said all he could hear was this bare feet just slapping down the road in the other direction. So, yeah, my money's on Kvaric, man. He's in shape. Oh, dear. So.
Will, you got another one for us?
So, nothing we can pronounce on this. Some big news as well. We talked about Rachel Atherton being injured, but one of the big guns of the men here, we had a national here last week, a South African national on this exact track, which was actually won by the Aussie brawler, Chris Kvaric. And Fabian Burrell was down here and he took a nasty tumble in the trees, and from what we can gather, he's actually blew his knee apart. He's done his ACL or something. So, Fabian, if you're listening, we want you to get better too. We're sending out the love to all the mountain bike riders that are hurt, because Burrell, one of the big players, Burrell, man, you know, hopefully we're going to see him back. I'm not sure of the injury and how long it's going to take him back, but for definite, Burrell is a world champion winner. That's what he likes doing. He likes to go to the World Championships and win. And we may be back seeing him in Canberra on a track you would have to say would be right up his street. There's some pedalling at the bottom of that one too, and Burrell is not short horsepower. So Fabian, get well soon.
There's another interesting statistic that you gleaned the other day. If Steve Peaty manages to do well this season, he's going to reach a milestone. Yeah,
poor old Peaty, man. I mean, I go up to him every race almost and say, if he can get it. Steve Peat then, 15 World Cup wins. 16 will match the record of Nico Vujo's, the greatest mountain bike rider of all time. There is no arguing with that. And yeah, hopefully we're going to see him do that this year. You know, I asked him, he hasn't actually won a World Cup for 3 years now, Steve. But he's there and thereabouts. He's only off one podium in 08. So, you know, the guy is on the money, and yeah, desperate to see him do that. Adele, his wife, is expecting a second baby. There's another boy they've got coming as well. So I think Pete's going to be over the finish line, through the Santa Cruz Syndicate pits and on a Learjet back to England, because Adele's expecting. He's seemed, you know, incredibly relaxed yesterday when we spoke to him. I couldn't believe just
all things considered, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the racing, you know. He said he's not really trying that hard, and he was fourth in the qualifier, and he said he's really, really happy with that. He didn't. I don't think, you know, I got the feeling he didn't expect to be doing that well. But Steve Peat, man, I mean, what a legend. The guy turns it on, and I mean, he started racing World Cups in 1993, man. I mean, the guy is unbelievably motivated and incredibly talented. And, you know, today on this track, it's definitely not an impossibility that we might see Petey on top of the podium.
Yeah, so I'm going to put my money on Petey today, even with Mick being the way he's being.
Good on you, mate. Yeah. I'm all about that.
I'm going to stick with Petey.
Yeah, I want Petey to do this.
People are asking, this course looks a bit like Canberra.
That's an interesting question.
It's a very valid question, and it certainly does. Yeah, it is very similar to Canberra in that there is a mass of pedalling. Someone said actually that this is even longer than the Canberra pedal, but yeah, if you look at the guys that were up there in the qualifier, I mean, you'd be a brave man to bet against any of these. You got Hannah, fastest qualifier. Greg Minart was in second. Third, Chris Kavarik, another Australian powerhouse. Steve Peat, fourth. G. Atherton, current world champion, fifth. Leov, another super strong guy. Polk just behind him, the Czech rider for MS Evil this year, with incidentally Matty Likkonen, thank goodness he's back on a bike. Sam Hill, well, that was uncharacteristic for him. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was 8th, I think. Camellini, he can pedal, he's strong, was next. Needling behind him, then Mark Beaumont. So, you know, all the big guns, all the powerful guys right up there. Hill, we spoke to Hill, you know, he was had a great interview with Sam, didn't we, and Brendan Fairclough, the two Monster Energy Specialised riders, and it was quite interesting seeing Sam, man. Like he said, dude, in 07, you know, he won the World Championships, he won the World Cup. Last year, he admitted, you know, that probably got into him a little bit, that big crash he had on the final turn of the World Championships. I mean, he was going ludicrously quick, and he said it did let him get to him a little bit. But we're starting today with a clean sheet of paper, everyone. No one has got anything to lose. It's an all-out assault here to make some points early on in this championship. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. But Hill and Fairclough, you know, both a little bit disappointed with their seeding run times. But they're not these kind of guys, man. They aren't powerful pedallers. They're both in good shape. Well, Sam is anyway. I'm not so sure about Brendan. But, you know, they like the steep stuff, and they're really excited about getting a year. Speaking of Blenkinsop as well, the guy, the last round winner, you know, Blenky, the young New Zealander. Loose is not a word to describe his riding. No gloves, no love, man. That boy just pins it. And we're going to see him in action today, but he wasn't right up there either, and he said he just wants to get back to Europe on some real tracks. So
Yeah, well, I mean, fitness is playing a larger and larger and larger role in these events as well, and it's, as you say, with this big, long straightaway stretch where you just got to pedal like hell to get across it, that fitness is going to play a huge part in whether or not you're going to make it down in the top 10 or if you're going to be the bottom of the pack.
I mean, yeah, Troy, you know, you're dead right there, but the thing is, I think, you know, you can't say Samuel ain't fit. Of course he's fit. I mean, there's a lot of these guys, they're super fit, they just ride their bikes all day, that's what they do, but they don't have the physical size, you know, for the power. I mean, it's fitness and power, and you need a huge amount of power. So there we go, look, a Greg Minnaar copy, one of the Minnaar fan clubs here. He's got some clones wandering around the pits.
There's a few of them. I got accosted by the Greg Minnaar merchandising crew on my way up here. Hey mate, you want to buy a Greg Minnaar replica jersey signed?
Yeah, the dude I walked by there this morning was like, want to buy a Greg Minnaar jersey? I was like, wow. And he was like, come on dude, it'll make you faster. And I was like, I think it might be a bit late for that, mate, do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. I can hardly walk these days, let alone
Where were you in 95?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Sorry, Will, just say into the mic. I'm getting informed that we can't hear the questions. Well, you sneaky viewers, we thought we might get away with it, and we were hoping to get away with it, and we were sort of playing with the idea of getting away with it, but we ain't got away with it, have we?
We weren't going to say anything.
So, right, brutal honesty. They recorded the top section from the Cedar Road on Thursday. I mean, it's not the ideal situation, but at least you get to see them rolling through the rocks. And yeah, to be honest, you know, I can't lie. I'm a little bit disappointed that we're not getting more cameras up top. It comes down to that we're a long way from home here. Yeah, it comes down to money. You know, there's a global recession on. Money's tight. The cabling to the top of the mountain was almost impossible to run the cables up there for those cameras. So you will be seeing pre-recorded. Can't believe who sent that in? Who blew our cover? We told all the riders they got to wear exactly the same kit. The UCI told them. Everyone told them, but it hasn't happened. So you're watching a pre-recorded start and you're watching a pre-recorded through the rocks. But then we are live. Excuse me, Will.
Now we've just been joined in the booth here by none other than the legendary skateboarder from back in the day, Rob Roskop. Rob, come on over here and have a seat here and jump in.
It's good you got a moustache, Rob, because you're going to have to share this lip mic with me. It might give you a little bit of cushion. Oh no, you're on. We've got one. So Rob Roskop with us then, team manager of the Santa Cruz Syndicate. Now, if you want to ask Rob any questions, now's probably your only opportunity to do so. So go to freecaster.tv and get on there and ask her. You got the Santa Cruz Syndicate owner. You the team manager, Rob, or is that Kathy?
No, that's Ceci. Kathy Sessler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're looking forward to this afternoon. Minnaar was second fastest qualifier. Big PD dogs up there in fourth.
Yep. They're where they're supposed to be. So I'm quite happy. We'll see. I mean, it's the first World Cup of the year. It's an exciting time. So everyone's a little nervous because it's the first race, but it should be exciting. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be good, mate. There we are looking at the bottom section. I mean,
how are you?
I'm all right, mate, actually.
Yeah?
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, the septicemia hasn't set in like it could have done. I did spend all day Friday in an African hospital, which was quite a rare experience, I have to tell you.
Yeah, you've had a bit of bad luck this last year, huh?
I've had a bad 6 months, mate. The pelvis, a broken shoulder, and then, second time out of my bike, I broke my thumb, which is now infected. So, yeah, it couldn't be better, really.
It's not fun getting old, is it?
No, mate, you're dead right there. That's exactly right, Rob. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a shame. It happens to us all. But speaking to Minnaar, he lives literally, within a mile of the bottom of this course, he said? He's not very far away.
Yeah, he's real close.
And he said it was just too weird for him, and he wanted to be the syndicate is I guess a bit of a family. You got Kathy looking after him. And he moved out of his house and came and stayed with you guys.
Yeah, he stayed with Kathy and the rest of the guys. We got a separate house because I brought my whole family this trip, and So we just want to give the guys a little more peace because I know Greg's under a lot of pressure being his hometown and all.
He's under a huge amount of pressure, man. They're selling those
Definitely.
Minar #1 shirts all over. There's not anyone in the crowd who hasn't got one on. He's got to win.
No.
It's going to be terrible if he doesn't.
It was pretty cool. The other night they did a VIP party for him, and that's where they were selling shirts and jerseys and whatnot. And you pay $40 roughly, and you get a jersey and a packet. But all the donations go to the school that Steve and Greg rode by in that Sorry to the Sea race. It was in Clay's film, not the one it just released, but the one last year.
First one.
Right.
First one.
First. Say that 5 times fast. But
No,
anyways, that's really good because the school is just this. It's a cement house basically.
Yeah.
And they have nothing, so all the donations go to help fund that.
Oh, well,
so,
that's great.
Yeah, it's a really good cause.
It is great, man. I mean, you know what? I've been to South Africa before, but I've never been here before, and it's really opened my eyes. I have to say, it's I don't know. It's,
Definitely beautiful country. People are awesome.
Yeah.
We've been here since the 27th.
Yeah.
Did the safari trip and it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's a I don't know, man. It's a funny old place, but I've really enjoyed myself here. And it's,
I'm looking forward to coming back next year already.
It's an eye opener. So Rob, getting back to the bikes, we're getting some questions in here from the techno geeks out there. Keep them coming, techno geeks. So today, are the boys running coil or area shocks? And do you even know?
I do know.
Right, good.
Believe that one. They rode them in practice. They actually qualified on them, but it's still such a prototype phase that they're running the coil today, though.
They are running coil.
Yeah.
But they have got air shocks, have they? That they can
Right.
run?
Like I said, they qualified on it.
Oh, they did. Sorry, excuse me.
Right.
So, and they're not going to run them today.
Not today.
Are they still got problems with them heating up and losing damping and things like that, or?
I'm not sure exactly, but they were running well. But it's just more of a safety thing because when you go to comes race day, you want to be on stuff that is solid.
It's proven.
Yeah, and it's still experimental. So.
And you're talking about probably just a few grams, right?
I think it's about a ½ pound.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's quite a weight saving. So the boys are going to be running on that. Something else I've got to ask you. How do the race bikes differ from the production bikes? So are these guys of Minar, PT, Bryson, do they have individual frames? I mean, is each bike made custom fit to them, or are they running basically production? And you've got to be honest. I know you can't tell us they're running production.
Well, I tend not to, BS people. So Josh is riding a production bike.
Really? Honestly?
Yeah.
Full production
Greg won the World Cup on a production bike last year.
Honestly?
Yeah. The only one that last year that was riding semi-custom, and that was Steve, is basically because we grew the top tube length by about 20 millimeters.
Really?
Just because, he wanted it a little bit longer.
Yeah. But he's a big old boy.
That he is. They all are.
Yeah, they are,
I mean,
actually.
Bryceland, since I've known him, has probably grown over a foot. And he grew a ½ a foot in the last 6 months, it seems like.
He's gone from baby giraffe to giraffe.
Oh, he's a ½ inch. He's 6'2.5" now. So he's almost at 6'3". You got to be 6'3" to be on the syndicate.
That's amazing. Sorry, go on, Will. We got another question.
Rob, you qualify for the syndicate, buddy.
That's right. Yeah, do you want to hook me up?
Oh, sure. Anytime,
I
Rob.
ain't very good anymore, but we can do something.
You got a big mouth and you're pretty good with it.
Talking about new riders, Rob, we've had a couple of questions already. There was a fair bit of hype that has to be said about Sean Palmer making a comeback on a Santa Cruz. Now, what's the deal there? Are we going to see the man?
I don't think it's going to happen this year. We're trying to...
You better do it this year, mate, because he's going to be 42 by next year. He ain't got...
No, he just turned
40.
He
ain't got that long.
He's not that old.
Isn't he?
No, he just turned 40 in November.
Oh,
so.
sorry, Sean.
Yeah. But, we hope to do something.
You've got
John's
to get
a
him
great
to a
guy,
race.
obviously, legendary status, and brings a lot to the table, and I think it's great for the sport. It brings a lot of excitement to the sport, which we need right now.
We need the Palmer.
Just like with this, the freecaster with the live feed is awesome, and we want to keep it going. So.
Well, it is. I mean, it's absolutely a step in the right direction to bring mountain biking back to its glory days. So, I'm proud to be a part of it, and it's great to have guys like yourself, really looking out for us. We appreciate that.
I enjoy it.
What's this question? Will, I can't understand your writing, mate. Can you write in English for me? Not code. Will we...
Will we see anyone racing a driver race? It's a possibility, but I kind of doubt it because the guys they ride the V10 mostly, and that's what they've been on. I mean, this track is very pedally, much like the bottom part of Canberra last year.
We had a question actually. Someone saying, is this really similar to Canberra? Unfortunately, I didn't go to Canberra. Did you go to Canberra last year?
I missed it. I'm going to go this year for the Worlds, but Canberra, from what I understand, the pedaling part was just at the bottom.
Brutal, all out.
Exactly.
And here they might have to save just a little bit, eh?
Yeah. Well, this course is different in the sense that it's right in the middle, so the race really starts after they come out of the steep section and they do the big tabletops. That's when the race starts, I think.
And looking forward to the big guns, the big boys are going to be coming down here now, like we said, second. Where did Josh qualify? Do you know off the top of your head?
Josh, I think, was around 40th. He didn't have a good qualifier. So,
but again, he's young, man. He ain't got the muscles on him, them boys.
Exactly.
I mean, his muscles have been stretched by his limbs to almost nothing.
Exactly. He's only 19. He's got to fill out still and gain some more mass because he's a rather skinny fellow.
Yeah, he is. I wish I was. So who's your money on then, Rob? Who are we going to see? Do you think are we going to see Pete get that 16th win? You know what? The bloke's absolutely gutted. He told everyone about it because
we'd love to see it.
I would love to see it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but Pete.
My guess is, it's going to be a similar to qualifying.
Yeah.
Those would be the guys in there.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't really expect that to change a whole lot.
I don't think it will, and I think though, Mick, he's come back, and it's just incredible to see him. I'm thrilled to have him here, but did he go all out in the semi-final run? We know that Greg plays a game, and he's probably got a little bit left back in reserve. He's got his home crowd behind him here, and Menard, dude, he knows how to win races. That is what he does. So
Greg's got some more gas in the tank for sure.
Yeah.
So does Petey. Petey wasn't really happy with his qualifying run.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the uplift's been a little bit slower, and a lot of guys have had issues with actually getting enough course time, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, I think they've gotten it, but
it's all done now.
I mean, it's pretty rough. I think it's about a 55-minute shuttle. Yeah. And it's kind of sketchy from what I've heard too.
Hang on, Will, get the mic here, dude.
Right, I've got a question for Rob here. How do you select riders for the team? What do you look for in a racer, and who makes the final decision on what you decide?
The big thing for me is personality. It always has been, because I think that's what this sport needs the most of. That's why, obviously, I was trying to work out something with Palmer, because I think he's probably the biggest personality the sport has had, other than Petey and the way Greg's coming in about too. I mean, Rennie too. Rennie's a great personality.
Rennie moved on to Moorwood this year. Of course, got himself a new deal.
Right. He needed a change. I wish Rennie all the best. He's a great rider, a great friend.
Good terms. I saw him in your pits earlier this week, hanging out.
Oh yeah.
Weirdly enough, he's got a pit right next to you, eh?
Worked out well.
Yeah. He's almost on board still. Is he running any Santa Cruz decals on there or what? On the Moorwoods?
No, I wish him all the best though.
Yeah, we all do. We'd love to see Rennie up there this afternoon as well. And you know what? After Canada, he was second last year. He really has got a chance.
Yeah, on that track with his home crowd, there's no doubt he's going to definitely be on the podium. I would say for sure.
Yeah.
Unless there's something happens, but I'll put my money on Rennie to be on the podium for sure.
Today?
No.
Down in Canberra.
In Canberra.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I mean, he's going to dig deep for that one, isn't he?
Yeah, he dug deep last year for that one, because last year he didn't have a great year.
No, not by his standards.
No.
Well, all the best today from Rennie then. You got any more questions for us, Will?
To join the syndicate team in the future?
You're a bit of a male chauvinist pig over there, Rob.
No, you got to give me credit here. In 01, I was the bike sponsor for the Luna Chicks. So we did that for 4 years.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
Mate, I stand corrected. I had no idea, Rob.
It's okay, Rob. I'll let that one slide.
I'm real sorry. I got a bit excited there.
No, but so I did that, and it was kind of a stepping stone to the syndicate, and that's kind of always been my dream, is to have a major World Cup contending team.
And you've certainly got one now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
No, it's been fun for sure.
I mean, obviously, without a woman on board, I'm not quite sure how the UCI team ranking thing works, but it's
now they count it. Last year was the first year they actually counted the women all together as a group.
Really?
Yeah. So last year we won the overall for the team, trophy, but it was close between us and the Athertons.
Yeah, I was speaking to...
it was within 50 points or less, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Whiteley as well, and he said one of the big goals of his new Trek team this year is to go for that overall
That's always Martin's goal.
He loves the team.
He does.
Thing, huh?
Yeah, we want to kick his ass on that one again.
That's good. This is what we want. We want some fighting between the team managers. Don't leave it just to the
Martin's
riders.
a good guy. He's great for our sport too. But there's always that competitive rivalry going along with all the teams. So.
Yeah. Well, he does a lot for the sport as well, mate.
Oh yeah.
But it's great, Rob. I have to say, to see. You've got a fantastic bike company behind you. It's just brilliant to see you here with, putting money back into these guys and having it's great just to see you putting money back in and having it's not cheap obviously to run a World Cup team. You could be driving around in a Lamborghini, buddy, if you didn't have all these boys on board.
Nah, I'd never drive one of those things.
I would. Well, Rob, it's been I guess a pleasure having you in here, and we got any more questions? We're done with the questions, Rob. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us.
Anytime.
And good luck this afternoon.
Yeah, I got my fingers crossed.
You got your 3 boys out there, all on top form. Minar's having a massage right now as we speak. By Petey. I think Petey's massaging him.
Yeah. They're probably sweating bullets right now. I think.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Intense time for
especially Greg, because he's got the most pressure.
Big time,
sure.
man.
Yeah. But he's good at that. He thrives on it, and all these guys do. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be where they're at.
No, that's amazing, mate. Well, Rob, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And we will catch up with you at the after party for sure.
I'm sure we'll see each other tonight, Rob.
We will. We'll be there, definitely.
All right.
By the end of this broadcast.
I'm glad to see you started early.
That's important. Whoa! Oh my God. All this water is killing me, man. It's really important to stay hydrated in this heat. Anyway,
good luck today.
Thanks, dude. So I think that's DC Dan Critchlow with a slow-mo there on track. Yeah, thanks a lot, Rob. Adam Brayton then from the UK, number 55 on track. Back to the action. Trying to catch up to where we are. Got absolutely no idea. Excuse me, dead air is always bad air, I say.
Yeah, dead air means just there's no hot air coming out, so that might be a good thing sometimes, Rob.
Yeah, you're probably right there. Do you mind if I leave you for a minute?
Do you have to break the seal?
I do, mate, yeah.
I think I lost that game earlier during that interview with Rob Roskop. I had to go.
Yeah, I won't be a minute, Rob.
That would be Troy.
Exactly.
But thanks.
Hey, it's good to see I've got my names in place.
It's all square here. We're good to go. We'll just leave you a little more dead air here as Rob Warner leaves the booth, and I'm stuck in here all by myself. All right, we've seen some of the bottom end. Well, we can't really say bottom end riders. Adam Brayton right now from the Great Britain. He is 3 seconds off pace coming in, and that gives him 4th place currently. So that was a fairly significant run for him. Right now, the top spot is belonging to Barrett. So he was one of the early riders qualified in there, and Ari Barrett is in the top spot at the moment. So we still have quite a few riders to go. We're only just getting on to rider number 14, 15, and 16, and 17. They'll be on the course right now. There's a big split because this course is so incredibly long. We've got about 30 seconds a break between the starts from each rider, and at that point, we've got 4 riders on the course at any given time. So there's lots of action going on out there, and there's always something happening on course for the people that are hanging out on the sidelines. And there have been about the estimate from one of the officials here was there about 10,000 people based on the number of cars in the parking lot. But from our guesses, we're probably looking at only about 3,000-4,000 people that are actually in the grandstands here at the bottom, and probably about 10,000 people in total from top to bottom lining the course. And I think you can probably see them in some of the pictures as they come along here. The shots go, and there's a number of people standing on the sidelines. It's always good to see, and that's kind of the nice thing about these downhill cross country and 4-cross events, especially the 4-cross and the downhill, is that the action is right there with the riders and the audience at the sidelines, and you can be part of the action in a manner of speaking. So that's really nice. And Rob, has
I'm
relieved
back.
himself. He's
We're
back
in the jungle,
and-
all right. Did that huge one-eyed trouser snake was out there again.
Oh my God! Here we go with the skin flute jokes again.
It's getting old now. I run it last night.
It's getting a little bit old,
I
yeah.
know. I'm not quite where I used to be.
Hey, Roscoff's a nice guy, hey?
Yeah. Now, I don't know much about what he did before, but wasn't he one of the greatest skateboard riders that ever has been?
Absolutely legendary skateboard rider. He was one of the originals, and he was there back in the day when skateboarding was all about power slides in the corners and putting a hand down, and there's some pictures of him with the flowing blonde hair off the top of his head. And
was he the full Cali?
Oh, he was the full Cali boy. I mean, he was the sunny boy of all sunny boys back in the day. I mean, really, he was legendary and instrumental in a lot of the things that have happened with skateboarding over the years. And I noticed that there was a question on the sheet there that just didn't get answered didn't get asked and answered. But this has been asked by me and some colleagues of mine on several occasions: bikes or boards. And his response is that his buddies are always giving him a hard time about not going out and skating with them anymore. But he says that his knees just can't handle the skateboarding anymore, and that he likes to get out on the bikes, and it's a new adventure for him every time he goes out and gets on a bike and goes downhilling or just goes for a road ride or whatever.
Certainly no shortage of bikes for Rob Roscott, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
No, I'm very pleased to tell you, we just had a bit of a battle cry from Rob over the next guest we've got in. Martin Whiteley's joining us from the newly formed Trek Racing team. Rob didn't seem too thrilled to think that you're going to win the overall this year, Martin. Huh? So you've set up this new Trek Racing. We haven't seen him in downhill ever since the days of Scott Sharples, really. That's right. I mean, you're going back a while, and you've put together an awesome team, and I mean, obviously an amazing result for you already this afternoon.
They really impressed me, like the quality of the bikes right now and what they're doing with the weight, and just an amazing bike, the Session 88. So when I saw that, this is the team I'd love to run. So I went to them and said, let's put a World Cup team together. Let's do a multi-discipline team because their cross-country bikes are awesome as well. The top feels amazing. So we came out, and here's our first race, man. I'm just so excited to get one in the bank already.
Yeah, boy, it couldn't have gone any better. You've opened it up. I mean, who have you got in the men's this afternoon? We're going to see in action.
We've got Needles. We've got Andrew Needling and Justin Leov. And anyone who knows anything about this sport, Justin Leov is really quite an amazing rider. He's been a bit of a dark horse over the last season.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't got the flair by his own admission. He says, I'm not the most exciting guy to watch, but I can get down the hill damn quick. So
he's powerful as well,
yeah,
which is going to really come into play this afternoon.
All three of them are really solid, dedicated trainers. You have to be to race on a course like this. You've got to be someone that can ride.
Do you know what,
though,
Martin? I think you have to be even to ride like slamming any of these tracks that don't require pedaling. These days, well, I'd like to say even back in the day, but that's a lie because I never trained much. But you've really got to be an athlete nowadays, haven't you? These guys, they ride. You know, back in the day, you could get away with like being good on a technical, chilling out on the pedaling. But now these guys pedal, they sprint everywhere. Their heart rate's at like 180. They're flat out everywhere. You know, it's a different ball game altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to put in the training. I mean, these guys right now, the difference are tenths of seconds, and that's not going to come from how light the bike is at the end of the day. It's going to be how hard you pedaled it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get the bike light to be competitive, no question. Otherwise, you may as well not go to the start line. But you got to be able to pedal these things. They're born with pedals on them, so you got to race them.
That's right. And I mean, Tracy, it really worked for her. I mean, I think the weight difference between the bike she's got off and the one she's got on is obviously, she told me that the change of direction and just everything. I mean, stopping these bikes as well. Remember, we were racing them downhill, and stopping a big heavy bike, so a whole different ballgame from stopping a light one. It's probably the biggest advancement over recent years, isn't it? Is the weight.
Yeah, and look, Tracy's a class act. She came into this season absolutely committed to win the World Championships. And, you know, our program is giving her the support, the equipment, things that she hasn't really had for the last few years. She's got a couple of riders, male riders to train with, which is something she really missed since the days of Fabian.
That's right, yeah.
You know, so that's something
she's
that...
been on her own a little bit until now,
yeah.
you know, because the Kona program kind of closed down and left her a little bit out on the limb. So,
well, you know, she had to book tech spaces on her own and do all that sort of stuff, and that just takes it out of you. You're doing a lot of work on your own, and now she can just focus on the training. She's absolutely... this is the best shape I've ever seen her in, to be honest, and she's so committed to this season. I mean, we both wish Rachel was here. I mean, my thoughts go out to Rachel right now. You know, I'm sure she's listening, but...
Well, poor old Ray, she's young. She'll be back, but like we said earlier, you know, Dan said, yeah, she's alright, she seems to be dealing with being injured, but you can bet your life she's sat at home and today of all days watching this, she is not going to be alright with being injured, you know, her blood's going to be boiling and she's going to be desperate to get on a bike. And with that shoulder injury she's got, it's really not something you can rush.
Yeah, no, but it could be also that we've got a really good competition going on. If Rachel does come back in the first or second event of the rest of the season, between Rachel Atherton and Tracy Mosley, and I mean, because she was looking really strong out there today.
I think for the first time in quite a few years, we've got a really exciting women's downhill competition. You know, you've got, I mean, Emmeline today really took it to them. Sabrina's always strong technically. And then you've got Rachel coming back and Tracy. I mean, it's really quite an exciting competition for them all.
Emmeline, definitely lifted the game, hasn't she? Got it out there in amongst them. So let me just say quickly, you can go on our webpage here, freecast.tv, ask Martin Whiteley. He is a legend, a cornerstone of world mountain biking. He ran the Honda team before, now he's just started his own Trek team. Any question like that if Martin really wants to talk about Honda?
He is the encyclopedia of mountain biking.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Any weird, statistical, odd, quirky questions you got, this is the man. He knows more about mountain biking than anyone else on the planet. So we've got a question already, Will.
Well done for Tracy's win. But if you'd like to know, are there any team riders that you didn't get this year? What would be your dream team?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few website competitions going on right now, and I think a few of the fans are starting to realise just how tough it is when you've got a set budget, just what you're going to buy. I mean, we'd all love to have a dream budget, then we'd have a dream team. You know, it is really tough out there right now. For me, what I wanted to do was have one woman and two men. That was the goal, to try and win the team ranking. I think that's the best way to do it. The Atherton showed it last year. So, you know, if it's not Rachel, then it's Tracy, or the other way around. You know, they're the two top riders right now. And then in the men, I look for guys that were pedalers. This season's got a lot of pedaling in it. And
did you really?
Yeah.
You you researched it that much?
Mate, we do this professionally now.
Did you really go for that? The world is pedaling, of course. This is a pedaler.
Absolutely. I mean, if we want to stand out first season, like we did with Global in 2001, we choose the riders that we think will stand out on those courses.
Brilliant idea. I never even thought about that. There's how far ahead of me you are. And what about these manufacturers you bring in? I mean, you brought in some massive sponsors to the sport, but you say you want this team overall. Is that as big a thing to a bike company as having individual winners, as having world champions?
Look, I think they're both really good. I mean, the rainbow colours are a really good marketing tool, no question. But on the other hand, if you can say that you're the number one team in the world, full stop, that's it. You're the number one team in the world, and you don't need to add to that. And for me, if we can do that in the first season like we did with Global, then I'll be thrilled to bits. We did it 3 times with Honda. I mean, that's something I personally drive for, but I know the athletes have got their own goals. As a team director, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Then they have their goals of winning world championships and races, and so they coincide and bring us in.
Aren't quite in the know as much as say Rob is. What does it take to actually become a manufacturer winner, or a team winner? Do you need to have all of your riders on the podium every single time?
Well, basically the points for men and women are combined here. So unlike cross country, where there's a ranking for women's cross country and one for men's cross country, in gravity, women's and men's results are combined. So if you win the women's race, it's the same as if you win the men's race points wise. So for us, having a top level woman is a very good insurance going in, and then having 2 men scrapping it out in the top 10, that's what's going to give it to you. So I look at the Athertons. I think G's stronger than our 2 guys right now. But our 2 guys are probably a little ahead of Dan, and then Tracy and Rachel are pretty equal. But also Chain Reaction is another team for us to watch. You've got Kovarik and Camellini, who are very good top 10 riders, and you've got Claire, who's really stepped it up this season. So I think it's pretty exciting competition.
Yeah, Claire's got better, right?
Yeah. I mean, we were helped out a little bit by Emmeline and Sabrina finishing between her and Tracy. That'll help us in the points. But yeah, I watched that pretty carefully.
And as well as running the team, Martin, you're still managing a lot of riders. You're still looking after Greg.
Yeah, mate. I mean, Greg's going to be the toughest guy to beat here today.
Yeah.
And I'm not unhappy about that. So I mean, this is our 12th season together as a partnership. I've been managing him.
Is that right?
Yeah, I met him here in South Africa in '98.
He's been with you from Global days through then.
Even his Animal Orange days. So,
of course,
yeah. So 12 years together. This is our 12th season. I mean. So, we were talking when Petey won in Fort William. He turned around and he said, "That's my dream, to win in front of my home crowd one day. That would be awesome." Yeah. And he never thought at that time that it would ever happen.
How did he get on when we raced it? Because we raced it, didn't we, in South Africa back in Stellenbosch, 10 years ago, I guess?
97 and 98.
And where was he then?
In 97, he was, I think he was probably, he was 16. He was 15 going 16. So that
my God, we're old.
He didn't even ride those World Cups.
No, he did. Yeah. He was allowed in, and I think he finished 53rd in the very first one.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I beat him, man.
He probably did. Mate,
Rob, you can be proud of that fact.
Do you know what amazes me about Menard is that he's 27 now, is he, or 28?
Yeah, 27.
27. And like you said, man, it's like he was racing on Animal Orange, the UK Nationals against us. Like he was this South African lad, and it seems like it was 20 years ago, and the guy has been at the top that whole time, and he's still so young.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare him to Petey and guys like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean he's got on the podium more than 50% of the time out of all the World Cups he entered. And when you consider that a lot of those early World Cups, he was too young. He didn't even qualify a couple of World Cups. He never got into the top 80.
Didn't he?
No. So for the young guys starting out now who think I don't qualify, you know, even the very best had trouble when they first started out.
Yes, it is. It's a long, tough journey, isn't it, to the top?
He wasn't an easy one to pick at the beginning. You know, it's very easy to pick guys who are getting top 10 as juniors and say, well, yeah, that guy's going to be great.
Yeah.
But to pick someone that doesn't even qualify and then to go on and, you know, he's so dedicated, so committed to his training, to his professionalism. I mean, there's no one on the circuit like him.
No, that's right. And I spoke to Kathy and she said, you know, how does Petey and Menard, what's the differences in their training? She said, well, they're both, you know, they're both like very, very professional. They're both fit. But she said, you know, like Greg, he's got a set sort of a program, but if he misses a day or two, he doesn't really sweat. You know, it's not like life or death to him. He's got a very level head.
Yeah. I was just watching Rory coming in there. He's just come in with a sub 4 minute time at 3:59. That's a great time by him. Junior world champion from 2007, just come in with 3:59.12. I mean, I'm happy to see Rory because he's had some injuries and everything last season, so that's great.
But his knee's not great now, I don't think.
Yeah, well,
he's a smashing kid, isn't he?
Yeah.
We've got to ask you a couple of quick questions here, Martin, that we've had coming in. Is Tracy and I guess the guys, are they running a stock Trek bike that you can buy in the shops, or is it something a little special?
I mean, apart from our sponsor Fox Shocks, so they've got some custom stuff in there, but the bike is absolutely what you can buy in the shops. Oh, the paintwork we've got on right now is you know, custom for the team. The bike is absolutely stock, apart from suspension, like I said.
And another one, Martin, which you may not know the answer to. Will we see gearboxes return to downhill bikes after Honda's departure?
If I had to put money on it, the answer is yes. Absolutely. Would you? Absolutely. And I know some things, but I can't tell you.
Right, lock him in, everyone. Let's get him. Well, Martin, we better get back on the action here, Martin.
Yeah.
But you know, that's absolutely amazing for you to join us this afternoon. Good luck with your new venture with the Trek team. Instrumental in the success of mountain biking globally, and it's great that we've had you in. And you know, thanks for everything you do for the sport.
I really appreciate that. Thanks for the props to Tracy. I know she'll be thrilled when she sees it.
Yeah, 30th birthday too, for
absolutely.
Tracy today.
Big
so
dinner
it's been
tonight.
a good one, eh?
All right, mate. Thank you.
Well done, mate. Bye. Okay, we're going to get back to the action here. You're watching round one of the 2009. I remembered the 9. World
9.
From Peter Maritzburg here in South Africa. It's hot, it's dusty, it's going to get hotter. We're moving through the rankings here. We're going to see the top guys on track in not the too distant future.
What do you say, Rob? It's hotting up!
It's hotting up, mate. It's hotting up. Nick Beer, the Swiss rider then.
Like this guy's name.
Hey guys, can you know one thing that we noticed this year that would I think we'd have seen an awful lot more Lycra in this event if it hadn't been banned. You know, this was one track where Lycra would have really came into force. You know what, dude, on a track like this, you'd have to say it'd be worth 5 seconds minimum.
Yeah, but I think it looks stupid.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I remember back in the days of the border cross, they banned the Lycra because the guys were battling 6-on-6, or well, 6 head-to-head. And the guys that were riding the Lycra, when they would go down on their race boards, they would slide the whole rest of the way down there and take out half the riders or injure themselves. It was crazy. I mean, that's obviously not going to happen here. They'll just end up naked after rolling across the course a couple of times. But yeah, I think Lycra's lived its time in the 80s, and I think we can leave it to the guys in cross country who, you know, need it.
I've still got my skin tips. I bought one off eBay the other day that I gave away.
You didn't.
I did, 14 quid. Couldn't go wrong. Can't get in it anymore though. So Nick Beers sprinting towards the line, so open. Rui Cunningham then, as you can see there, riding for Chain Reaction Cycles.
Nick Beer moves into second place, plus 196 off pace. So
great to see Rory in there. You know, I mean, like we say, last year was a little bit injured. So much promise from the youngster.
Rory Kondrasov.
Rory Cunningham.
Huh?
Do you know what? Oh, on track now though. Rory
Cunningham.
He's leading.
Leading, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Who's next? Rory
What?
No.
What was the question?
I don't know. refuse to go. You can't just. Really? Apparently I'm too loud. They're going to turn me down. How much you turn me down? Can you still hear me out there? Oh, that's good actually. I like that. So Remy Therion, next man on track. I'm just trying to find some paperwork here on Rory, whose name we'll never get right if you actually try to say it as it should be done. Well, as you can see then, dry and dusty like I just said, super fast through this bottom section. The boys are joining our 4-cross track. Expect to see the top guys though not breaking any of this section. Down through the rocks there. It's rough and it's fast. Frenchman Therion on the pedals.
Remy Therion at the split time in 5th place. Just short off pace, just 32 seconds off pace. Just 32 seconds. It's a sprint race. That's a heck of a big break.
Yeah, you've got to say, look at that bob section. There's a couple of bits that don't quite flow, and the boys, you know, you're going to have to dig deep. These guys' heart rates are going to be through the roof here. But there's no option but just to absolutely get your head down and bury yourself. 2 minutes of pain for all the glory, we used to say. Although that never really motivated me to do much pedalling.
You know what I'm surprised by here, Rob, is that there's a real lack of crashes so far on course for both the men and the women.
Yeah.
Nobody's gone down yet.
No.
And there was a lot of talk about that one rock garden section at the very top that was going to cause a lot of problems for the riders.
Well, that's right. And you know what? Unfortunately, we're not seeing it, and it might well have done, though, eh? But you know, the times are not selling us that we've seen many crashes. Everyone's coming through pretty quickly. At the moment, we've got Rory Cunningham, the 07 Junior World Champion, in the hot seat. A return to form for him. He's had big problems with his knee, and it's still not great now, his team manager Nigel Page told me. But, you know, hopefully we're going to get there. So, that was Remy Therion. Next man up is Dan Stamage. Whether we're going to see him on a live feed, I don't know. Let's have a look. No, we've gone straight to Johan Potgeiter.
Potgeiter.
You tell me, I ain't very good. He's South African,
said it
though, a
perfectly.
local boy. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sounds like it was perfect to me. Unless you jump in with maybe a little Afrikaans Potgeiter or something like that. I don't know.
I failed every. I was so bad
Potgeiter.
at French that made me do Spanish.
Potgeiter.
So yeah, like we said, just grab my notes here. The big guns are going to be coming soon. We got some questions there. We just got a question asking me what I think about neck braces, and I think they're absolutely incredible. You know, brilliant idea. I mean, why wouldn't you wear one? I saw Josh Bryceland down in the pits with one earlier, and I said, you know, what's it like to wear? And he said, well, I don't really notice it. And I was like, but you know, do you like it? Is it a problem? He said, it's definitely not a problem. And I definitely like the fact that my neck's protected. So, you know, why wouldn't you wear one? I guess you got to say that to yourself.
Yeah, but I think it's like anything, you know, you get used to it after a while. And given the fact that there have been, you know, I don't want to say so many devastating crashes, but there have been a few fairly significant crashes that have affected the lives of families and riders around that. It just doesn't make sense not to wear it anymore. You know?
No, you're dead right, man. I mean, this is an incredibly dangerous sport. I don't think I know of many sports that are much more dangerous than this on the planet, and so why wouldn't you wear a neck brace, you know? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, for the freestyle motocross side of things, for instance, Jeremy Twitch Stenberg was one of the first riders to jump into that gate and start wearing the neck brace, and you know, he's one of the first guys that I would have said, in my opinion, nah, I don't want to wear that, it looks stupid, you know, but he was the first guy
I think they look
to
cool,
jump in
though.
there
like
and wear them. Yeah, I think they look just fine. I don't even notice them anymore. I see the riders wearing them, and you know, I actually notice the riders that aren't wearing them.
There's
more than the
Rory.
riders that are wearing them.
Rory looking quite pleased with himself. Chain reaction cycles. Nigel Page will be hanging around there somewhere, team manager.
I ordered a few things from Chain Reaction Cycles to the disgust of my wife.
I actually ordered something. They sent me a load of sweets for it. It was really, really sweet.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Thanks, Chain Reaction. So, send your questions into us. Info. No, it's not that anymore.
It's not that anymore. Pay attention, boy.
Sorry, webpage, freecaster.tv. Watch that shoulder,
Yeah,
Troy.
I'm watching that shoulder. We should switch places so I can give you a good slug on the left shoulder instead of the right.
We're into the top Who's this on track? Do we know? No, we don't know. Of course we don't.
I think it's Brickland. I think we're looking at Brickland right now.
Wearing a Leot neck brace as well.
Yeah.
Have this.
Absolutely. Help yourself. I'm sure Monster Energy will be pleased to know that you're drinking that.
You mean this Red Bull that I'm putting down? That is incredibly tasty.
We're not supposed to be telling anybody we're drinking water in the booth. Water. It's water.
Oh dear. So Rory Cunningham then in the hot seat. Apologise, this isn't the best World Cup coverage we've ever had, I must admit. You know, we're just seeing the bottom section. We had all kind of technical problems here all week. Weirdly enough, because of the World Cup football that's coming in. Sam Dale on track then. Another one of the big junior riders from the UK. Not a junior anymore, of course. But Sam Dale, a big, powerful rider. Waiting for him to come into view. On the gas, Sam Dale riding in Royal Racing there. Sponsored by Nike 6.0. Him and Bryceland, teammates on the 6.0 programme. PY, Phil Young, the manager, will be looking on in England, I'm sure. He's a big, strong dude, Sam Dale. Let's have a look at what his split does. Rory won't want to be beaten by his nemesis through the junior ranks. Nemesis, yeah.
Let's see what the split time is here.
Oh, he's 5.5 back. You know, Rory's done a great time here.
Yeah, eh?
He really has.
Very good time.
Very, very good time.
He set the bar. Just blow that one off.
So Sam Dale coming in then. The live looks. Oh right. Do you know what? Looking at our screen, I think Rory might be out of the hot seat, and Aaron Gwynn, the former motocross rider from the States, who came in with a bang in Monster Name, like, yeah, it's Gwynn. Aaron Gwynn is in hot seat now. So Aaron Gwynn has took over the hot seat there. We didn't really see much of him last year. He's on his teammates with Blenky, Sam Blenkinsop on Yeti this year. And he came from nowhere, you know, really last year. We see him, I think he was like 8th or something at Mont St. Anne. And this year he's got himself a proper deal. And he's going to do the entire World Cup, man. And I don't know how he's done it, but he's right there with them.
Well, there's a real crop of young riders that have, sort of petered into the scene last year near the middle point, end of the year. And then all of a sudden, there's just, there's a dozen of them or so that are just making a name for themselves and surprising everybody.
Yeah, there's a whole load of a new wave of talent coming through. I think it's going to take them all a while to catch up. It's a shame we haven't got. Here's Tom Braithwaite from the UK. Likes to be known as Bitty Braithwaite.
Bitty Braithwaite?
Well, he doesn't like to be known as, but that is what he's known as. Tom rode actually for me on the Giant team. An absolutely awesome rider, riding for Hope this year. He puts a lot into his riding, does Tom. His dad, one of the greatest explorers of our time, been up Everest more times than you can poke a stick at. Yeah, so Tom, good to see him riding, still got a deal. He's 4 back though at the split. Probably not going to. Probably Jane, if you're listening, sorry for calling him Bitty Braithwaite.
Say what?
That's his mum. I'm sure she's listening back home. We tried to get Tom to put it on his jersey. I think he did, but he never wore it. I told him it was doing him good, and how wrong I was. Could have been the end of his career. Oh, dear me. So, let me have a quick look here. A recap then of last year's top 10 overall. This is the over 8 World Cup. We got Greg Minnaar winning it. We had an absolutely epic battle with him and Hill all season long. Probably sure to be repeated this season, maybe with a few other guys. Maybe Hannah's going to get in there in the mix. G Atherton, Sam was second, came down to that last line in Sladming. We had G Atherton in third, who actually won the World Championship, so he won't be too worried. But I spoke to him in the pits this week, and he said that You know, he's really glad he's ticked the old World Championship box. And now the World Cup is definitely a priority for that man. Braithwaite then, look, he's been training, he's on the gas. Strong peddler. 4th, the legend, Sheffield Steel, Stephen Pete. 5th was Sam Blenkinsop, catapulted himself up there with that World Cup win at the last round. Burrell, unfortunately, Danny Hart on track, excuse me. Yeah, Burrell, unfortunately, we're not going to see him. You know, that must be crushing for Burrell. I know how hard that man trains. No one really puts more into it. They've been working on that Mondraker bike, and I know it's a lot better this season. And he was really looking forward to it. He finished development last year. Burrell, big crash here last week at the South African Nationals, so we're not going to see him in action for some time. Rennie was 7. He's on a new team on the Morewood bikes from South Africa. Leov, 8th, Trek rider. We just had his team manager in. Kavarik 9th, and Camellini in 10th.
Danny Hart having a good run here. He's off pace, though. It looked really quick, but he was riding so smoothly at the top, but he's 8 seconds off pace, unfortunately, and I could have sworn he was going fast as hell.
Well, Danny Hart, you know, look at the size of him, man. He's always going to struggle on a track like this. Danny, you know, he's a young lad, still finding his way a little bit in the senior rankings. He's got himself a good deal there, though, and you know we're going to see more and more from people like Danny. But we need to get into the steep tracks, the gravity-fed tracks. These guys, these small, diminutive figures, they are going to struggle on these tracks. Another guy we would have seen here today, had he not been injured, is Ben Reid from Ireland. Ben, if you're listening, I want you to get well soon too. He did his AC joint in his shoulder a few weeks back. I understand he's left it; he's not having surgery, but you know these guys. Ben is also quite a small fella. And they just don't have the power, man. It doesn't matter how fit you are, you cannot push yourself forwards unless you've got the big old thighs like the guys we're seeing at the top. So it's a bit of an interesting opener this year. That guy was pretty good. Do you see that? He rolled back off
backwards,
that lip.
and that's where the problem was with his time, for sure.
Danny Hart's got some skills, that fella, you know. Producer's going mental in her ears. He is going backwards.
He went backwards. Oh, no, he's forwards.
That's
It's a nice one. Saves that one for slow-mo, please.
Yeah, that's my generic Euro accent. Hope you liked it. So send your questions to us. freecaster.tv. Is it not working? Yeah. Oh, we're getting loads, I'm just not getting them. Will, do your job, would you, mate? I don't want to pull you up. I know you're the producer and stuff, but, like, come on.
Yeah, what is going on over there anyway? Kyle Strait. The question is, where is Kyle Strait this year?
Where is Kyle Strait this year? That is an amazing question. What's the next one? I think Kyle might have gone free ride. I don't know. He's not here in South Africa.
Kyle's been spending a lot of time doing free riding, as a lot of people know. I mean, he came into the scene sort of doing the free ride thing and winning an event up at Whistler at, 14 years old or something ridiculously young, 15. And he spent a lot of time doing the free ride scene, and just recently, in an interview done by none other than our own Martin, he stated that he wanted to get back into the racing scene a bit more and start focusing a bit on four-cross. I think, though, that we'll see him do the majority of the four-cross events in the States before he starts maybe dabbling in the European events and still do a little bit of free ride action. So to answer your question, I think probably we'll see him show up on the European side of things as far as four-cross and maybe even downhill is concerned late in the year, if not next year.
Just while I remember it and we're doing this, I've just got to say, get well soon to my old dad who's had his knees operated on this week. There's absolutely no point because he doesn't even know what a computer is, let alone a mobile phone. But if anyone's listening and they're near him, he's in hospital today as we speak. I know it all went well, and be great to have you moaning. I'll get on two legs again.
Another question coming in here.
It's pretty good as it is. I can get away from him. Rando! Here's Jared Rando.
Jared Rando.
Australian, riding for Giant. On that new prototype Giant bicycle there. I don't like to talk about Giant too much, but I will mention Giant just one more time. Great, no, I'm only joking. Great sponsor though.
Remarkable. Weren't you a Giant rider for 45 minutes or so?
Actually, if you want to talk about it, we can. Yeah, I was on the payroll for 15 years. Not anymore though. So no. How fast are people going on course?
Average speed is about 55 to 60 kilometers per hour.
We do actually have a speed trap.
We do have a speed trap. So the question was, how fast are the riders going on course? We have speeds that range anywhere from 55 to 60. The fastest time was from our 61 from Danny Hart. Yeah.
That looks like the fastest. Danny Hart then fastest through the speed trap so far today. 61 kilometers an hour. I don't know how he managed that with those little legs, but he did. Less wind resistance, I guess. So Rando then on the gas. The Aussie. The Gwyn's time looking stronger and stronger, you know. Rando going to be gutted with that. Some 8 seconds back. You know what? I think Gwyn, you know, he's a bit of a hot property.
Yeah, he's that dark horse that we like to talk about.
There's our mates again, the old Pistons. What do they look like? Give us another question, Will.
Length of the track.
The length of the track today is
2.8 kilometers.
2.8 kilometers.
Do I get a badge? Because I got it wrong. It's 3.4. That's
your badge of honor's in your back pocket, my friend.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. It's a real long old track, you know, really, really long and really, really arduous. And, you know, I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to apologise for the fact we haven't got any cameras up top on the steep technical stuff in the rocks.
It would be so nice to have some
it really
footage
would,
from up there.
We've got, you know, we've got the steep top section. It comes down to those wicked tabletops. Here's a good one. This is what we've been waiting for.
How much do the top guys make a year?
How much do the top guys make a year? Well, talking personal experience, sort of $500,000.
Perks and experience.
No, I'm joking. What do the top guys make these days? It's a pretty heavily guarded secret in the modern day of mountain biking. I mean,
but I
think it wasn't too difficult in the 90s to clear £100,000 a year, though. You know, I mean that was. But mountain biking was probably a lot bigger than we had a lot more outside corporate sponsors.
Yeah, the 90s, it was the boom years, the early 90s for mountain biking. I think right now, though, most of the top riders, if you're not talking about any endorsement deals they have outside of their sponsorship through the bike companies, are going to be making between 30 and 40K a year US dollars. So
I think the big guns, you know, the
big
top,
guns.
Yeah, the top 5, 6 guys, probably on a lot more than that. I'd like to think Menard's earning a couple of $100,000.
They'll also have incentives for winning stuff as well. I mean, I know that from back in the day, there were incentives that if a rider won 10 grand at an event, he would get a 10 grand incentive from the company.
I got a good bonus when I won Caprun. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. When I won a World Cup in '96, but I got those were the days. 5 grand prize money, or something like 4,500 whatever the Austrian money was then. And about 5 grand off Giant, so it was about 10 grand. It was pretty good actually. Went and wasted it all on motorbikes that then broke every bone in my body. But anyway, so Matt Simmons then, chain reaction cycles rider. Wow, I'm telling the truth.
What?
God, never. Yeah, really. Matt Simmons, chain reaction. Where are we up to now on this sheet of ours? I'm done with that one. Oh dear. Come on, you're supposed to be taking care of this. Matt Simmons.
Now we're on.
We're getting there. Matt Simmons. Yep. Chain reaction cycles. Another one of the chain reaction guys. Teammates for Chris Kavarik. Simmons pushing on here towards the end. He's got. The split's not good though. He's 8.64 seconds back. So he certainly ain't going to be taking the hot seat. You know, this is a weird opening World Cup, I have to say. I mean, it's not the best track we've ever seen. And I apologise on my course walk if you've watched it. But he's going to remain nameless, but in the uplift he told me that it was the best World Cup track ever, which I then told you guys it was, so I look a bit stupid. But,
maybe it's just the longest World Cup track.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys have really enjoyed practicing on it. It's one of those tracks that is great to practice. It's got a lot of big jumps, a lot of fly-offs, but when you have to come and race it, you know, and you're just burying yourself, it's absolutely no fun. So Simmons, a little bit out of the back there today. For me personally, In recent years, it would be Schladming in Austria because it's a true downhill. I think what downhill bikes are made for. You know, there's barely a pedal stroke on it. And if you go back 10 years, then I'd have to say, without a doubt, it would be Nevergal in Italy. The legendary Nevergal.
Nevergal.
It's weird though, dude. I think if you went back to Nevergal now with one of these bikes, it would probably be pretty lame. But right then, it was pretty insane, you know. Yeah, it was a fantastic track. Basically, anything where you didn't pedal too much. And you know, being a flat pedal guy myself, and that, I'm not really interested in pedaling. So Johnny Neithlin, Andrew Neithling's younger brother, hot on his heels here. We're going to see his brother in action. His brother's heading up the Trek team this afternoon. Andrew Neithlin, actually, we had Whiteley in here, Martin Whiteley, his team manager earlier. And I think you'll find that Andrew was fourth at the first split in the semi-run, then made some mistakes. So Martin thinks that if he can hold it together, we could even see a podium here today, which would be amazing. So fingers crossed there for Andy, but Johnny Neithlin only 3.15 back. Not too bad.
That's an improvement right there off of most of the other riders we've seen recently.
It's surprising actually, Troy. This is a really fast track, but the gaps are pretty big, probably because of the length of it though, you know. But with these high speeds, I really thought they'd be closer, but you know, let's be honest, the pedaling is tearing these guys apart. I mean, it really is. That's pretty much where most of it's coming down to at the moment.
You're talking about designing a track in here and given the lay of the land and everything. What would you change about this track to make it a little bit different?
The gradient. I'd probably make it a lot steeper.
Given the lay of the land.
Oh, did you say that?
I did say
that.
It's
the ADHD kicking in.
It's the ADHD kicking in.
I got diagnosed the other day, nearly.
Yeah,
I don't know, mate. I mean, what would you do? No, I'd probably make it a bit shorter, but unfortunately the good stuff is at the top. And so, you know, if you want the good stuff at the top, you've got to link it somehow, and that's what they've done. I mean, it's not a bad track at all, and it's going to hot up for us when we see the big guns coming down. But it is spreading them out a little bit at the moment. But,
do you think this is sort of growing pains for an event in South Africa like this, or, you know, I mean, because the technical delegate Chris Ball is here to check out the tracks and everything and make sure everything is in order. It's a very long track, like you said. There's some technical sections in there, but there's that long pedaling section that's a little bit difficult. So, I mean, you know, where do you stand as far as redesigning this track to make it a real fun track for the downhillers?
Yeah, I mean, it's a job to know, mate. I mean, this is Minar's garden, so, you know, I'm sure that they've done what they can with this hillside. No question about it. I mean, we've got someone in there who might be able to tell us a little bit more about it. We're joined by current junior world champ, Josh Bryson. We didn't see a run on here, Josh, but, I mean, we were just talking about this track. Just how difficult is it?
Oh, Rob, it's such a difficult track just because the top section, I mean, it's like a good bit of downhill. There's some technical stuff there, but
we're not seeing it actually on the live feed, which is unfortunate.
After like 30 seconds of riding, it's just into the pedals, and it gets really hard, and the heat as well, and it's flat in the woods, and you just, it seems endless when you're pedaling up there. Yeah,
is it actually hot enough here to sort of make you sort of boil up, your head start boiling up in your helmet on the way down?
Yeah, there was one point in the woods there, I didn't know if I was going to last to the bottom.
Serious?
I was struggling, man, I was struggling.
Those little electric fans attached to the helmet.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say, you know, it's just an arduous, tough. And what do you think is going to win this track? Do we just get any fastest guy?
Yeah, we got the New Zealand rider Cole just took the hot seat there.
Excellent.
3:53, so we're getting closer to that.
3 seconds up, that's a big margin.
Yeah, it is on this track, eh? And what's going to win this track this afternoon, Josh?
I reckon it'll be down there in 42, 43.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. I think it'll
Where
be
are
that
those
low.
guys? Where are those big guys going to make that time? On the pedals? Or
well, the whole way down. The whole way down. I mean, you can say a lot of it's on the pedals, but I mean, they're just so consistent on any track, and
that's
you know.
Right, mate. Yeah, and a lot of people would say to me, "Oh, won and lost on the pedalling," but it isn't. You know, they're big guns, dude. You can only
they don't let
pedal
up anywhere, do they?
No, that's right. You ain't going to win it on the pedaling. You've got to be through those top sections. That top section's quite strong in it. I mean, it's like a good minute of technical, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
45 seconds.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
even in between the technical at the top was pedaling, so it's such a physical track. It really is.
Yeah, it's going to see you put the winter training in.
Yeah, definitely.
What was your time?
I think I did an 02, but I rolled a pedal before the tabletops and ended up casing one and losing a lot of speed, man. So.
Did you? So you had to get it back up there.
Oh, I lost it for the whole flat bit, and then it was just a slog.
Yeah, it's true, mate. Your momentum's gone.
Oh, wow.
Probably not really a track, just I mean, you're on flats. Not really a track for the flat pedal guys, is it?
No, I wouldn't say this is my my preferred track, but you know,
you spoke to a lot of the guys. It's a World Championship Series or World Cup Series.
Yeah.
You've got to have a little bit of everything.
You have.
I think when we get into the top 10, things are really going to hot up, and we're going to see it. You know, some good action here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always the same guys in the top 10, really. So, you know, they can deal with anything we throw at them.
I got a quick question for you, and I'm sure that the people out there that are watching are wondering, what do you guys do in the off-season, in the wintertime, to train in order to get ready for this? Because obviously, you know, where you're coming from, it's a little bit cooler, hey?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes in England, well, the top guys, it's a full-time job. You got to train 6 days a week. But I mean, sometimes it's hard to get motivated when it's pissing down rain, and you know, Greg's over here sweating.
Yeah, it's a bit more bleak up in the old Peak District, mate, isn't it?
Not hard.
So what kind of training on those 6 days a week do you do? Do you get out on the bike? Do you pedal? Do you just get your conditioning up? Do you go to the gym and push weights?
Gym, road bike, cross-country bike, downer, you do everything. You've got to be rounded in every area, so yeah, everything you can think of, really.
How's the acclimatization to the temperature been for you coming down here? Has it been a little bit hard for you? I mean, you mentioned going across that flat section that you thought you were wondering if you're going to make it down to the bottom because it was so hot. Obviously, it's playing a role.
Yeah, well, yeah. When the day I got here, I didn't think I was going to cope, but then I adjusted pretty quick actually, because I've raced in quite a few hot countries, but it doesn't make it that easy when it's a track like this. Because yeah, it's nice having good weather, but when you're sweating in your helmet and sweat's running down into your eyes, it's definitely hard work.
All right. So we had a couple of quick questions for you, Josh, on the live feed. David Vasquez Lopez on course then. I think a two-time national Spanish champion, definitely a veteran of the mountain bike, riding for Lapierre.
I think he'll be on for a good time.
Yeah, he will, man. He's incredibly strong, isn't he?
Most definitely.
We might see if he's up here. Just hang on a sec. We're going to see the
Check the split time. It's coming up for sure.
We've got two questions for Josh. I'm going to fire at. Here we go.
His legs still look strong there.
Oh, he's still back, but look how strong he is, man. He's making mincemeat of this bottom section. Vasquez then. Really been around a long time. Nearly quit the sport just a few years ago. He told me if he didn't get back where he wanted to be, he was going to knock it on the head, spend a winter training, and came right back in there.
Oh, see that jump there, sick.
Pretty cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So we've had a couple of questions for you, Josh. One, where's your Pikey Chav haircut gone? It's probably from one of your
That was a one-off, that was, Rob.
And two, what's it like being on a team with the big boys, you know, Manar and PD?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, just training with them guys on the track in practice, it helps you so much. They do lines you wouldn't even think possible, and just opens
do they?
your, yeah,
do they really?
Yeah.
What, they even surprise you sometimes?
Yeah, they do, and it like opens your eyes to what can be done. Really, gives you motivation to chase them.
Do you think that's all going to change when you start beating them?
I hope so. Yeah.
Then they'll be watching you for the lines. Hey, where's he going now, huh?
I think the old pat on the back might go out the window a little bit then, mate. How bad what? How bad was your crashing, boy? It looked pretty bad.
Oh yeah, well that was probably one of the worst ones I've had. I was lucky to get away with that.
You were, mate, really, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
And then you broke your collarbone last year. Would you happen your shorts get tangled on your bars or something?
Yeah, it was either my shifter or my over top of my boxers, but I mean, it broke my collarbone just before Canberra, and then I missed the last two World Cups.
Wait, let me get this straight. You're running in just boxers? Aren't you wearing shorts over top of that, or what?
That was good.
I was talking about the RockShox suspension, man. Best ones on the circuit.
Yeah, good little advert there, Josh. Looking after his sponsors. Right, so send your questions to us on the freecaster.tv. You were watching the first round of the 2009 Mountain Bike World Cup, UCI Mountain Bike World Cup from here in
Pietermaritzburg.
Who's this on track, Will? You pointed at the
Pascal.
screen.
He's dumbfounded.
Pascal, jeez, come on, mate. Don't get all camera shy on me. So Pascal on track, another veteran. This boy, he's been around forever too, eh?
How's his split?
It's just coming up, I think. Who knows?
Let's see.
Yeah.
No, he's past the split now.
Did you hear that? What recommendation would you give for some youngster getting into downhill? He's back or is he up? No, he's shaking his head. 3:57 though, that's a respectable time, you know. What did Kavarik win it here in the last week? A 48?
I thought it was 56.
56, so there you go then, the pace is up.
Yeah, but Mick Hanna's got a 48 here, or a 50 at the qualification run. So
Yeah. The track's definitely got a bit quicker.
Did it?
And you learn it more as well, so.
Yeah, there's a little bit of rain, but is the top section still slippery?
No, it's perfect actually. The rain helped a lot there because it kept the dust
Nearly
down.
got bucked out the front door there. Which one? Sorry, there. Well, don't do that to me, Will. Give it me now. What's the question? Can't just suck me in and blow me out like that. I mean, that sounded a lot worse than it is. Huh? How long have you been riding, Josh?
Oh, a good few years now. This is my 3rd year on the World Cup circuit.
Because you're already, eh? How old are you?
19, just.
19.
Jesus, I remember 19. Sort of.
Desperately trying to see where we're at on the list here.
Delta.
Is it? So things are hotting up here then. We've only got we're almost into the top 20 fastest qualifiers. The big guns will be on track soon. The big guns! The big boys are coming. Mitchell Douse, the Australian, riding for Kendall Morwood.
Yeah,
Two
he's
well
top
off
10s
pace.
last year. Is his chain dropped?
No, it hasn't dropped, but he's well off pace. Oh, maybe it has dropped.
I don't know, he's not putting a lot. He's done, mate.
No,
he's
he's
turned
got
the
his
pedals
chain
there.
still.
I think he's just buggered.
I think
bet-
he spent
I
his
think
legs in that flat section that you crawled through yesterday.
I think he's got a bit of what I got.
No, something's up, I think, don't you? He looks like he's stuck in a gear or something. He's not flowing there, was he?
I don't know, it's hard work by that point, Rob.
He's either absolute. No, he's all right.
He's knackered. Look at him. He's totally knackered.
He's
You can
hanging
see it.
apart.
He's going to go for the triple. Rup, yeah, rup. Oh, big case. Douse won't be happy with that.
10 seconds off pace, 25th place for him. Ouch.
So the big players are joining us now. We're going to be getting on it. We've got the big guns have come in.
See you later, guys.
Paya, Blenkinsop,
Thanks a lot
all
for joining
coming
us.
up. Thanks a lot for joining us, Josh. Can I leave you to hold the fort just for a minute there?
You got to go again?
Mate, this bladder problem I've got some problems with me, what's it called?
Bladder?
No. Prostate, mate. Prostate.
Prostate.
I'm at that age. No.
No, well, we've lost our expert commentary from Rob Warner as he goes and repairs his prostate problem. Well, maybe not. And just looking at the slow-mo action from the run here, it's just, Delphs looked like he was just giving up there at one point. He was having a rough time, and it looked like he was completely knackered going in the lower half of the course. And this long course that we've been talking all day about has probably played a big role in how a lot of these riders are going to come together. Rob, my God, that was the quickest bathroom break I've ever seen in my life. Did you take your pants down?
No, I just went.
Oh.
So, Fairclough, I don't know if you saw it on here, but I was out there. Fairclough coming in with a 4:01, so Brendan really struggling on this track. Do you
That's
know what?
unusual for Brendan, too.
Well,
He's quick. He's a quick kid.
He's a super quick kid. I mean, we might as well seen him right there. He'd been top 3 in Schlabling last year. He crashed on that last big drop. Lucky to get away with it. It was a huge accident. But dude, these boys, man, this is horses for courses here, and Brendan ain't one of them powerful guys. He's a technical rider. Here's CG!
Cedric Gracia.
Big Gracia on track then.
We talked about him earlier, blowing out his knee, bandaging it himself, and sitting at the table with a coffee and a donut, waiting for this day to start out. And he said, "No way! After all the training I put in, I'm definitely getting out on course." He's been a little bit off pace in the last few years, kind of focusing on various Red Bull events and partying and stuff. But as we mentioned earlier, he came into this event here. We saw him walking in, dragging a case behind him, his upper body completely ripped, and you said that he's in the best shape he's been in since he was 17 or 18. So,
Gracia's dropped a few stone, man, this winter. He's been really training hard. Had that big accident here and he wrecked his knee, but he told me that he actually can't even sit down and pedal because his knee won't bend enough. Yeah. So, Gracia is a charger, mate. He's
a charger, definitely. And he's 4 seconds off pace right now, unfortunately. So I don't think we're going to see him anywhere near the hot seat at this point. But it's good to see him out there, and I mean that motivation that he's got to get back into the scene and just absolutely play the game. That says a lot for him. And right now he's in top 10. And yeah, he's 5 seconds, 5:38 off pace, unfortunately. And
not bad though, you know.
No, not bad given all the things that have happened.
Mate, you know?
Yeah.
He's been around forever. I think he's really happy again now. He's back on a French bicycle company, Common Sail, there, based in Andorra, literally a mile from his house, about 100 yards from his bar there that we're going to see at round 3, I think, when we go to Andorra. Kicking off in there, but yeah, Gracia, man. Truly a legend of world mountain biking.
And a legend in a short time as well. I mean, he just sort of came on fire and then, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Troy. I mean, well, look at the man's style the man's form over those jumps there. So we're in a Florent Payet, another French guy. Riding for Team Subaru, Mountain Pro team. Sorry, let me start again. Riding for the, riding on a Mondraker Subaru Pro team. That's better. Barral will be watching at home, I'm sure. We're not going to see him in action today, and if everyone's correct, then we're not going to see him for a little while with that knee injury. But these youngsters will pick it up for him. It's a weird track, you know, Troy. Sat here watching some of the guys, most of the guys we'd normally expect to be up there, like Florent Payet, quite a bit off the pace.
Yeah, quite a bit off the pace.
It's a really specialist track. I mean, we've got 8 rounds in this series. I spoke to, didn't we? We spoke to Sam and Brandon, and they were like, yeah, we're on damage limitation this weekend. There's not a lot we can do. I mean, you know, there's 8 rounds to this series. And
Don't
we're gonna
kill
really
yourself
step
at the beginning. This wrecks your chances for the rest of the season. Stay healthy, stay strong, and you know, peak at the right time of the season.
Well, that's right, man. And you know, they've got to pick and choose their tracks where they can do well. I mean, these guys, these days though, you need. Sorry, dude. Yeah, we got distracted there. We need. You need to be. You need to be able to do everything. You need to be able to pedal. You need to be able to do technical. So it's difficult for them. You know, definitely. Hill will be on damage limitation this weekend. If he makes the top 3 a day, it'll be a miracle. So
just got a note here from our producer Will. We're now into the top 20, the last 20 riders to go.
So let's give you a quick rundown of those positions. Then we got Cole in front from New Zealand on a 3:53, 2.55 back. It's Ivan Lego Moreno.
Lego Moreno.
Another legend, Spanish legend. Gwyn from the USA, new boy from Calais. He's on 3.8 back on a 3:56. Pascal Guardia just behind him, 5th. David Vasquez-Lova. Steve Smith, unfortunately, the Canadian.
Canadian kit.
The Canadian Chainsaw Massacre. He's another super technical rider with a 3:57. Florent Payet, 3:58. 8th, Michael Pascal, the legend from France, on a 3:57. Another garlic breath behind him. Cedric Gracia on a 3:58. And Blenkensup's on track.
Oh, he's got the speed. He's got the top spot at the split time there, Blenkensup. Let's see if he can hold that down to the rest of the course. Split? He had the split. He was
that's a
62.7 kilometers per hour.
No gloves,
fastest today.
Never rides in gloves. One Sladming at the end of last year. He's super motivated.
Super fast on that Yeti.
5th overall in last year's World Cup. This man, you know, the youngster, he's really shy, really quiet. Keeps himself to himself, lets us ride and do the talking. And you would have to say this is not a great track for Blenky, but he's pulling out all the stops here this afternoon.
I think we're going to see a new leader after the finish of his run, because he was in at the split time in 1st place. So let's see if he can maintain that down to the finish here. He's going over the last triple. It's going to be very close, though. He's off pace a little bit. 6:40 off 13th place. That's too bad.
He's been running the Berg pedals he ran in Sladmin last year. They offered him some new ones, but he didn't take them. Wanted to stick with the ones he won on, which are actually a lot fatter than the new ones, I understand. So I think Blenky, like most of us, is a little superstitious.
A little bit.
He's like a pro golfer at the last holes.
62.07 kilometers per hour. He had the fastest speed at the speed trap so far today.
For sure, mate. We're going to see more and more of Blenky as this season progresses. When we get into Europe, into the forests, into the steep downhills. Look at the style of the man, though. There he is. Boomed really last year with that win. Down after, and then this guy can pedal.
Here we go.
He won't be too tired from last night. Not a great 4-cross for Dan, like it can be for anyone went out in the early rounds. So his legs should be pretty fresh. Been training in the US for the whole of the winter.
Dan and G both coming into this event in tip-top shape.
Yes.
Absolutely ripped.
Yeah, I mean, G, Dan a little bit conservative, doesn't tend to bowl around the pitch with his shirt off quite as much as younger brother G. But Dan.
Hey, ladies.
Dan in just as good shape, if not as tan.
Let's check this
but
split
now,
time.
2 seconds back.
Oh.
He's not going to make that up between there and the finish area, but still a respectable time for Dan Atherton. Riding for Common Cell Animal. Rachel, sister Rachel, out with injury. She'll be watching this, urging them on. The three of them last year did the impossible in Andorra. Dan winning the 4-cross. Rachel and G both taking the men and women's downhill. Unbelievable, I'm sure, I'll be amazed if we ever see that again.
Here we go, coming into the finish area, Dan Atherton, he's pumping hard. He's got that 53, 54, 55, plus 2 for 31. He's second place right now. Dan Atherton will move into second place behind Cole, so respectable.
Yeah, definitely respectable. And it shows how much speed Cole was carrying through that last section. He took 0.31 out of him on that last bit, where you think really that they're probably all going much the same speed. So Dan Atherton then, who's next on track? I'm lost. Dig deep. Help me.
Dig deep.
Dig deep. So we got Giordano from
Giordano.
Yeah, that's better, mate. Dude, honestly, I apologise to everyone who's not listening in England, because my pronunciations are awful of anyone's names.
If they're not listening, they're not going to hear it.
Anyone with more than 2 decibels.
The louder the better, buddy.
What are they called? Syllables?
Syllables, decibels.
Damn, I tune in at 4 o'clock every day for Countdown. I'm getting no better. So on track then, Giordano riding for Giant. This man,
Aurélien Giordano,
the Frenchman. This guy's pretty serious about his training. You know, he's actually had arm pump surgery. He's had the sheaths on his arms released to stop him getting arm pumped. So he's pretty serious about what he's doing here. Oh, he's only 1.17 back then for the Frenchman. Not a factory Giant rider. He's not running that new prototype we saw Rando on earlier. He's on the old heavy beast. Still a great bike though, I have to say. Send me some more bikes if you want, John. Yeah, so Giordano coming into the finish area then. It's loose and it's dusty, but we're not seeing quite as much action as we normally do. The course pretty easy for these guys. Someone described it to me actually as a supercross track that's been straightened out. I'm pretty sure he's not going to take it now. He's a little bit back. He's got a 56. 2.96, 2.96 back for Giordano. We've got some questions coming in. No, you don't want to know them. Question 4, Nicholas Frenzen. I can't answer that. What do you think? Can't answer it. Can't answer it professional. So, next man is Duncan Riffle. Hopefully we're going to pick him up on the live now. Duncan Riffle riding for his own team this year. I'm not sure we're going to see him, whether our producer's going to cut to another rider. Hopefully, Giordano going big. Yep, it's Duncan Riffle, the tattooed millionaire. This man's got more ink than Bic. Covered in. That was awful, wasn't it?
Keep it in the nose. Keep it in the nose.
Covered in tattoos. Yeah, Riffle seems to be doing his own thing. The US from the US.
Duncan Riffle. Riffy!
Oh, excuse me. Riffle making light work of those rocks, bouncing through them. Sprinting hard. What's the split going to do? He's only 0.95
Oh,
back.
that's tight. That's tight. That's really tight, actually.
Yeah, he could do something here, but I think, look at this bottom section. You're going to be lucky to pull time out.
What's the Riff riding right now? He's got a change of team this year, didn't he?
Riffle, yeah, he's actually doing his own thing. And on the stats here, it says that it's Team Riffle Racing or something. So Duncan Riffle Racing.
Duncan Riffle Racing. Say that 10 times fast.
You'd be lucky. I couldn't say it once. And after this, we have got on track Nathan Rennie. So Riffle coming in, jumping that triple.
take second
2.09
place.
back, so these guys are losing a little bit down there on the bottom, riding in Royal Race riding gear.
Cole has held on to that spot for quite a long time there.
Cole,
the Rocky rider.
Looking like he might hit the top 10 here,
Might just.
Yep.
Riffle in second place right now.
We've only
Atherton got bumped down to third.
We've got like 12, 13 riders left, so we are getting to the beef of this burger here this afternoon.
Where's the beef?
Here's the top 10 are coming up. Next man on track we should see is the human refrigerator, the human party that is Nathan Rennie.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, he won't mind that, man. He's riding for Morwood. He's going to be motivated to do well here this afternoon. This is where they're from. Australian Rennie then. Not the best year for him last year, but he did pull out that incredible second in Canberra on a track very similar to this.
He's such a big fella too, the gravity sports really...
his weight will help him on this track.
Yeah, I'm not talking about his weight. I mean, he's just generally a big guy. He's strong, and he's got those calf and thigh muscles that we were talking about earlier too, hey?
Oh man, he is a big dude, and you know what? Weight will help you on this track. It helps you carry your momentum. And Rennie, he's super powerful. Canberra last year, he was right up there.
Let's check the split time.
It's going to be good, I think. 1.39 back, so fourth for Nathan Rennie.
Well, that'll be an improvement off the training time or the qualification times anyway, if you can hold on to that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Rennie then coming in. That little bit there, these guys will be absolutely hanging. Their arms are gone, their legs are gone. No oxygen left anywhere in their bodies. And the last thing they need is like a little bit of track like that where they have to get back on the gas. It's time to dig deep for Nathan Rennie. Nearly there, Rendog. Going for the double. Can he make the triple as well? Rennie's there. And he's back, 1.82 back.
Second place. There we go.
Took a little bit of time there, managing to get over that double.
Cole just taking a look at the camera and going, whoa, did I actually manage to stay on the hot seat again?
Well, next up, man, here's a guy with some horsepower. We're going to see Jared Graves on fire.
Jared Graves was the absolute dominant rider in the four-cross last night, and unbelievable. And if he's got the power for today, then we might need to look towards Jared Graves for the rest of the season to peak at a real good time and maybe even come and challenge these boys in the downhill for the seat.
Well, let's not forget, man, he was an incredible downhill rider. We didn't see much of him last year because of the BMX. He made the Olympic BMX finals, crashed while he was in third place. So this guy will not be short of any horsepower.
Jared Graves, the Yeti rider.
Riding for Yeti, yeah. Graves, let's have a look. Split's going to come up in a minute. Riding for Yeti, Fox. Won the four-cross last night, so I'm sure he's going to be tired though.
Yeah, he'll
Troy,
be beat.
man.
He'll be beat.
He did what, 6-7 runs of plus practice of a 1 minute. He's already done his downhill. He did a downhill last night, basically.
He'll be pooped today. Let's check this split time as it comes up with Jared Graves racing this course very well. Had a little bit of trouble there through the rock garden. Looks like the front end got a little loose on him.
Oh yeah, they're getting loose.
He's back by only 0.94, so he currently is holding on to second place.
Right.
Let's see if Jared can hold that time down to the bottom. Just put that anywhere, Rob.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that. So Graves charging like a wounded bull. What can he do? I think he's going to struggle to take the hot seat though.
Yeah, little sprint uphill climb down to this left-hand turn, or the right-hand turn rather, and then he'll have the double jump and the triple coming down to the finish area. It's going to be interesting to see where he actually ends up with 0.94 back at the split time. He's 0.112. He's gotten to second place. Jared Graves.
So Cole in first, Graves second, Renoir, Nathan Rennie in third, Riffle fourth, Dan Atherton fifth. Those guys have actually got a chance of being in the top 10 this afternoon.
All right, so Cole managing to hold on to the top spot for quite a long time so far. That's a super respectable time of 3:53.20.
Yeah, pretty good. Who's next up there?
I mean, if you're looking at the times of Graves, Rennie, and Riffle, we're talking about 1:12, 1:82, and 2:09 back. That's a pretty big split when you talk about the amount of speed these guys are carrying down to the bottom of the track. Oh, cheers to you, by the way.
Yeah, someone just walked in, obviously can't read. So, Who's this? Sorry, I got distracted there. The rage filled up in me.
The rage! Ah!
We don't want people just wandering here, especially people like that.
No, we don't need that. The pressure.
The pressure. Well, the ignorance.
Fabien Cuisine.
Fabien Cuisine. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I can't lie. Who is Fabien Cuisine?
He's 3 seconds
Frenchman.
off pace, sitting 16th right now. That means if he's...
That's a good thing then, it doesn't matter. He's out the back.
Oh, Rob.
Oh, I'm telling the truth. He's not going to be taking it to him, is he?
Nah, but he was there last year quite a lot throughout the entire series. I mean, you can't count him as a top 5, top 10
I got
rider
so
every
distracted
time.
there
But,
when that dude just walked in. I just
know,
wanted to
hey?
get up and knock him out.
Oh, that's
so
just,
anyway, we got the
it's
top
terrible.
10 coming up. The top 10 qualifiers.
Top 10.
Mick Hanna was fastest, the GT rider, that Bushman from Australia. We're going to see him pulling it all out this afternoon. Second was Minar. Third was Chris Cavaric. Fourth was the legend that is Steve Peat. Fifth was G. Atherton. So I can't read my own writing. Sixth was Leo. Seventh was Philip Polk, riding for MS Evil. Eighth, Hill. Ninth, Cavallini. And 10th, Needles. So we're going to be hotting us up. We're going to be getting into the top 10 now. Next man on track we should see is Mark Beaumont.
Brother of Scott Beaumont. Scott Beaumont doing respectably well in the 4-cross yesterday, but ending up in the consolation final. Unfortunate because he was looking very strong on his new sponsor Rocky Mountain last night, and yeah, we don't see him in the downhill section today. Scott told me yesterday that he'll be. Yeah, I know. But
sorry,
Scott was telling me yesterday that he was thinking about riding both, but it was just too much effort to bring back the both bikes with him down here, so he decided to focus on the 4-cross. He did all right in it last night, but right now we're looking at his brother Mark Beaumont here.
Brother? No, they're not.
They're not brothers.
No,
this is a different guy.
No, this is Mark Beaumont. Yeah, they're completely unrelated, actually.
Ah, totally unrelated.
Yeah, no,
okay,
a few people have made that mistake over the years.
Ah.
Even the spelling of their names is the same. So Mark Beaumont riding for GT this year. He's really fit. He won Vigo in 07. 08 probably wasn't the best year for him. 13th in 08. He's got to run that plate most of the year, but he should be motivated now running that GT bicycle. Beaumont not shy of a bit of training. What's he going to do this afternoon?
I'll have to apologize to Scott for bringing those two guys together as siblings there.
I've heard it done 1,000 times though,
I
you
bet,
know?
hey?
Yeah. No, you got Scott Boom Beaumont and Mark Zoom Beaumont. How'd you like that?
Beaumont,
Yeah, that's the difference.
It's going to be close here. He might have a third place for Mark
1.63.
Beaumont. Yeah. But didn't they ride for the same team a few years back?
No, I don't think so. They might have done, Troy. You might be right there, mate. I can't remember, to be honest.
That's getting a little confusing.
A little bit confusing, but Mark more downhill, Scott definitely more 4-cross.
Yeah, definitely more 4-cross.
Yeah, Scott, these days not really doing so much with the downhill. And who can blame him, although when he turns his hand to it, he's still pretty quick. But Mark Beaumont, they're riding for GT. Another one of the guys going to be looking forward to getting into Europe. Had a much better 07, 08 wasn't so great for him.
Clean on that jump though, very nice. Sailed that one clean.
He sailed it. I'm not going to say he dead sailed it, but he sailed it. So, we are into the top 10. The big guns, it's time to pull the trigger here in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa.
Now
Next
the question
man on
is
track, Needles.
Needles, Andrew Needling going to be on there, the South African kid. And
this is better. This is what we want to see. You're going to see the
stuff
full
from
run
the
of
top
these guys.
here.
We did try and lie earlier, but someone spotted the kit change. This is pre-recorded from the semi. But this, remember guys, there is a lot of points on the semi-final and these boys are trying. This is back to the live coverage. Andrew Needling then riding for Trek. Had 4th in the splitter in the qualifier on the super technical top. He is unreal on the pedaling. He's been training his ass off this winter. He has, he could really be up there. Martin Whiteley seems to think he might take Leov this afternoon, his Trek teammate, and they're really hoping this guy's going to get on a podium. So he's coming into sight any second now, I hope.
Yeah.
I really, there he is. So he comes in off the still jump at about a 2:43.
Let's
So
see
we're
what that
gonna see.
split time is going to be as he comes down towards the bottom. And right now, I think Cole is sitting on that hot seat sweating a little bit because the top 10 riders are still to come. And, I mean, the times are going to get faster and faster. So Cole has had a long stand on that hot seat. And Andrew Neethling from
he's gonna
South
get
Africa, it could be that Neethling bumps him. But you know what? Like you were saying earlier, a lot of these guys are just riding this course saying, you know, try not to be injured. And we noticed that there's this technical sections, and nobody's managed to, or nobody's gone down on these technical rock sections. And Neethling is 0.94 back, so he's sitting in 4th place right now. So Cole, more than likely, will have a top 10 spot unless Andrew can really pump those legs down through the bottom and kill off some of that time.
Neethling, man, he's going to be motivated. He's here in front of his home crowd. He's tired though, man. He wouldn't normally be that ugly over a jump. Neethling then laying it on the line. He's giving it everything he's got. Dig deep, Andrew Neethling. I think he's going to go fastest. He's super motivated on the new team. No, he's outside it.
He's outside it by 2 seconds. 7th place for Neethling.
Plenty of bricks, but no cement there for Neethling. 2.48 back. Those boys have been doing that all day. We're bored of it now. Someone stop them. It's actually quite funny. So anyway, we're going back up to the top. Next man we're going to see, the camel toe from France. Julien Camellini. Riding for chain reaction cycles. Everyone here this afternoon seems to be out riding for chain reaction. So Cameron Cole, it looks like, is going to get himself a top 10 here this afternoon. So there you go, that's the steep rock section. There's another line on the inside of that, but most of these guys tended to go wide there. Neethling, no. So important to land smooth off these jumps. Heavy landings, hitting those rocks, all these things take speed, and when you're this exhausted after like a minute of burying yourself pedaling. Oh, and a mistake there from Neethling.
You could see off that landing too, his head just went down and dropped it. And he's totally pooped.
He didn't even get a pedal in there, he just pumped that before he took off to get a little bit more speed. Sat down over the line, these guys
and he
are
still
shattered.
managed to case the last part of that jump. Not terribly, but still.
No, it's incredibly physical,
it's really
man.
hard.
And it is damage limitation, you've got to give it absolutely everything. You've got to give it to the max, you know, but you've also got to have enough left just to keep control of your bike. Like, would you normally see Andrew Neethling run wide on a straight? No, these guys
definitely
are
not.
fatigued, man. So Camellini is in the gate. This is his second, 1 year ago in Slovenia. Had a second place. The boy can ride. Took an injury mid-season, which put him out of contention a little bit. Hurt his shoulder quite badly. But the guy is super, super fit. We're going to be interested to see what his split is. I missed him coming into action there. I apologise for that.
Julien Camellini dropping in there, and he's got the pedals going down in this section. The drop is nice and smooth. He's looking very good. Right now he's at a 3:02 count, and we'll be getting into the split time after this drop here. Drops it nice and clean. He's smooth through the rock garden. He's got some great speed back on the pedals for a couple of strokes just to get himself some speed. Here's the split time. He's back by 0.95.
back. Well, it is doable for Camellini.
It's definitely doable, but everybody we've
It's
seen
a tall
come in
order,
with a
but it's not
0.95 back is really suffered through the latter half of this course, so it hasn't been anyone that's been able to pick up the pace in the latter half of the course at all.
No, not really, mate. I mean, a second there is an awful lot to pull out. Depends what he's got left in the tank. Probably not a lot. None of these guys are going to be holding back. It's round one. All to play for.
Oh, he's going with everything he's got there. Last triple jump here, he is absolutely shattered coming across the finish line. Fourth place for Julien Camel Toe Camellini. I can't believe I just said Camel Toe.
He's all right. He's cool with it. So Camel Toe then. Cole's time's looking better and better, eh?
Yeah, Cole's time is looking really good. I mean, he can be super proud of that time, 53, when you think about the top 5 riders were on the 50, 48, 50, 51 mark. So that's not bad by Cole.
Next man up, everyone at home. I hope you're sitting tight. It's the winged assassin is about to drop. Sam Hill will be on track any second now. Going to realistically struggle this afternoon. If he gets on the podium, it's going to be an incredible effort from the flat pedal thunder from down under. I'm not sure really what he's going to do. but for sure, I think Sam even knows he's going to struggle, but that won't stop him going absolutely all out here this afternoon. Damage limitation for Hill.
Just a note, Cole has been on the hot seat through 21 riders.
He's got to be happy with that. There he is.
He's got to be happy with that.
The pain's over, Cole. You've done good, buddy.
So Cameron Cole is he's now chewing that lower lip because he knows who's coming up.
Yeah, it's time to get nervous. Sam Hill, the most devastating man on a mountain bike when he's on form, riding for Specialized this year. Monster Energy, especially he's got tight there in his semi-run. He would have done in the final two. Hill then said to me in this interview earlier this week that he has had a massive kick up the arse. What did I say the time was off? This dropped 2:43 or something. 2:42. So Hill, we need him to come in the sight. Oh, it's going to be tight. He's up.
He's up.
Hill is up. Christ on a bike. Can Hill do it?
He's such a smooth rider, and Sam Hill, I mean, it's amazing just to watch him navigate through these rock gardens, through these drops and these jumps and these little tree sections. He's so quick. He's, I think we're going to see a new hot seat.
Well, I think so, mate. I mean, really, Hill's going to be Devo if he's not out of the devastated if he's not out of the top 10, isn't it?
61.43 through the speed trap, not the fastest on the day, but that doesn't necessarily matter. Let's check the split time here. He should be up.
Oh, he's up!
240. He's up by 240. That's definitely going to be good for Sam Hill.
Hill has pulled out all the stops here. He really couldn't have a worse track for him. Pedal, pedal, pedal. He's over that hip jump cleanly. Hill knows how to carry speed back on the pedals. The flat pedals are not really the one for this track, but Hill is showing his determination. Total motivation this year.
Absolutely.
He blew the world on the last turn, went third, second in the World Cup after an epic battle with Greg Menard. And Hill is trying.
He's going to come across that line really quick. He's
he is
3
massive.
seconds up. Sam Hill takes the lead on this one. Hill's got the hot seat. Sam Hill absolutely dominating on that one.
Hill will be happy with that,
He'll be
you know.
super happy with that,
He can go
Rob.
home happy, man. He knew he wasn't going to win this one. Doesn't suit the Super Tech Hill. He can go to Europe for round 2 knowing he's in contention. So brilliant ride there from Sam Hill.
And Cameron Cole will
composed he
get
is.
no less than 9th place on
great for
today's
Cameron
run.
Cole.
Yeah, that's very good for Cameron Cole. He can be super proud of that.
Look at the composure of the man. He's happy with that.
He doesn't even break a sweat here. He hasn't even broken a sweat. The guy looks like he's just out for a Sunday walk with the dog.
No, that was great, you know. Great to see Sam there really trying on this track. So there you go. Yeah, Hill then. Looked like he'd saved a little bit for the bottom, a lot less messy than some of the other guys. It's really hard, you know, on these downhills. Sometimes you go all out, like bury yourself, and you think you're going to be super quick, and your time is actually slower when you've had a conservative run and just done everything right. It's a really weird balance to find that between being cool, being smooth, being consistent, or being all out, balls out, and thinking you've done so much you can't do any more. But sometimes, you know, you just get scruffy and lose some time. So Hill got the balance right there this afternoon. Unlikely, I think we're going to see him on the podium, if I'm honest, but you never know.
Well,
Philip
look at the
Polk
time
then.
for Sam Hill. 3 minutes, 50 seconds, 18. And I mean, that's
What
only...
was it? Sorry?
3 minutes, 50 seconds, 18. That's only a couple of seconds off pace from yesterday's qualifying round. So, I mean, it might be that he sits on that hot seat for a little while. It's hard to say. Right now, Philip Polk on course.
Philip Polk on course. You're watching this live and exclusive on freecaster.tv. Nowhere else you can watch this. Philip Polk is on course. His Lycra has been banned. He'll be a little upset about that. One of the few Lycra warriors left in world mountain biking. But Polk, what's he done? No, he's well off, I think, isn't he? What are we saying there?
2:43.
Yeah.
At the drop, 2:43.
Yeah, I think Polk's well out the back there, mate. He had a problem.
And he
somewhere
came
we
off the
see.
drop at 2:52. So he's well off pace there at the drop.
Yeah, we think Polk might be 10 seconds back. Let's see. Oh, second fastest through the speed trap.
Second fastest through the speed
61
trap, though.
kilometers an hour. Polk, an awesome all-rounder, still knocking out the 4-cross results as well.
Let's see what the split time has to say. I think he's about 5 seconds. Whoa! 12 seconds off
pace. Yeah, we were right,
pace.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, the first time today, Rob.
Probably the last. Polk teammates with Matty Lycan on MS Evil bicycles. We spoke to Matty this week. You know, he had a rough couple of years, like, and he broke his back last year. Came back looking good. Broke both his wrists at Canberra, and he's got the scars to prove it. And you know, he said basically that he has to take his time getting back up to speed, and we want him to. You know, we don't want Lykinen getting hurt again. So Lykinen, a little bit off the pace at the moment. Here's Polk coming in.
Oh, he's well off pace.
So Hill looking good.
Looking good. And Cole, no less than 8th place now.
No late, that's good. Cole's going to be made up with
he's
that.
jumping up.
So, who is next? Justin Leov, riding for the brand new Trek Racing World Team. Teammate Tracy Mosley took the win. The top 5 then in the standings at the moment. We've got Sam Hill, the legend, in first.
Cameron Cole, 2nd place. Jared Graves holding down 3rd.
Mark Beaumont in 4th. Julian Camillini, chain reaction cycle in 5th. And Big Rennie in 6th. We've got a couple of dark horses coming up though yet. Don't forget, Chris Kovarik is yet to show what he can do on this track. Won the South African National here just a week ago. Been down here for a couple of weeks. There's Sam Hill. Smile on his face. Done a good job today, Sam. So Hill, you know, on damage limitation, like he said, is it going to be good enough for the win? We'll see.
New Zealand's Justin Leof.
Be a powerhouse. Martin Whiteley said he might not be the most stylish. He might not be able to lift his game when he needs to, but this guy knows how to get down a mountain quick. And Leof on the track, going to be motivated. New team. That's a pre-record of his semi-final run, and here we are back on the live feed. Needs to come off that drop at about a 42, 43 seconds. So where is he?
It's 35, 36. Time is counting down, and he is off pace by the looks of it. We're at the 42 mark. Oh, it's going to be close.
It's close.
It's close. He's
Leof's
really close,
Leof
actually.
is in the ballpark. He's back on the gas. Has he got anything left for this bomb section? Pedaling hard along that camber.
In the ballpark. Will he be able to hit it out of the park, though, as long as we're sticking with the baseball metaphors?
I don't even know what baseball is. We play round.
Yeah, hey, same difference. Boring as hell.
So Leov, their world ranking of number 5 last year. He was 6th at the World Championships. Digging deep.
Split time coming up here.
Leov powerful. He's lost a little bit. He's 2.68 back. Probably not going to challenge Hill. This is looking good for Hill, Troy.
It's looking really good for Hill and Cole as well. I mean, I got to say that I'm rooting for Cole at this point because you know, he sat there for 22 riders before he got bumped off of that seat. So I have to be impressed with the time that he put down early on in the early rounds.
You know what, man? Looking at Hill's time there, I mean, Leov only a couple of seconds, 2.5 seconds back, but he's still second, and that proves just the gap that Hill opened up on him.
It's a big gap.
Yep, Hill really pulled it out, dude. Hill is like hungry for this.
Yeah,
he said
3rd place for Leof at this point.
He said after 07 he had nothing left to do, and he was right. And I think he was motivated though, man, the way he took that World's Course apart last year, but for sure he has had a new hunger put in him. He wants to come back and just destroy this men's field here.
Yeah, he's got the power and the hunger, and if he's motivated, if he's healthy, and if he's feeling good, you know he can do it. There's the 2 guys in the background freaking out. The Piston Brothers.
They're going to be thrilled, aren't they? They got on telly all afternoon. With quite a cheap trick.
They got themselves on telly and they got a little bit of a workout.
So next man then, your current world champion. We're going to see G. Atherton. Make no mistake about this man's fitness. G said he's ticked the box of the World Championships. Current world champion, he is going to want to be the World Cup winner. Sam looks worried. He knows the big guns are firing here this afternoon. The real threats are coming. The big guys, the super powerful fellas are all at the top of the hill on the turbo trainers warming up. Here's our pre-record of G. Atherton then, the semi-final on Thursday.
G-View.
Atherton never scared to put it out there. His world run last year went tight there looking qualifying, which means he's probably going to get now. We're going to pick him up any second on the live. I think he's going to be up.
I think he's going to be up too. He's been looking very strong on this course. And look at this, we're at 2:29, 2:30. He should be coming into view any second now, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was a few seconds ahead of pace.
He's going to have to come into view pretty quick. He hasn't done it. It's close.
It's very close. He's up by 1 second. He's up by 1 second up here.
I think he's a second up.
The official split time will come soon. Let's see what his speed is through the speed trap.
The weight of those world champion stripes not slowing Giathan down this afternoon. He's got a mentality like no one I've ever met. Nothing seems to faze the guy. He just does his own thing.
Not super fast through the speed trap. Giathan, one of the slower riders through the speed trap. That doesn't mean anything, though. It's all about the time at the bottom of this run. Let's see what the split time comes as he gets through here. The split time coming up, he's at 3:13. He's plus 65. He's back right now in second place. But
Hill has done something I didn't expect this afternoon.
Yeah, Hill has actually surprised everybody here.
He has, man, on flat pedals. He was a massive disadvantage. And G not looking that quick through that section. Hill was smooth and fast over there. I can't see G coming back from this. Hill was an incredible run. Hill pulled out all the stops. We know he's been training hard all winter in Australia. And you know you can't deny the guy's fitness, but I didn't think he really had the power for a track like this. Hill looking dangerous.
On the last triple. He doesn't even bother to triple it. He comes across the line in second place with a plus 183.
He looked pretty tired at the bottom there, mate.
Really tired at the bottom there.
You know, these guys, though, it's a balance for them. They've got to give everything, but they've got to give a little bit back just to make sure they don't get so tired you can't operate properly.
Yeah, G's breathing heavy, though. You can see it. You know, he's taking a couple of loops here just to wind down a bit. He is breathing really heavy, and that's unusual for G because even last year he's so fit. He comes across that finish line, and you never saw him breathe that heavy at the finish line.
No, this is the most physical track I think we've seen in world mountain biking for a long time. All the guys want to do well here, though. It's a little bit like the Canberra World Championships we're going to see live on freecaster in September. September. Who knows? Who cares? We'll all be there. Huh? So
give that man a microphone.
Yeah. So Atherton then, pretty good run for him, but he'd probably be a little disappointed. A bit of a test, this guy, for all the guys they've trained all winter. No one really knows where they're at. Right now is the measure.
The next rider up, though, hey, this is the guy I got my money on for today, Steve Peat, coming up next. And the experience here is going to pay off in a big way. And you said yourself, this is a power riders course. Do you think we can expect to see Steve Peat pull the time out and take Sam Hill off that seat?
Well, Petey told us, you know, preparation this season not been quite what it was. His wife, Adele, who I know is listening, is just about to pop, have a baby. So it's Steve Peat, you know, he's had a few things on his mind, he's been busy, and he was quite surprised to get fourth. The 34 3/4-year-old, it gets important when you get this old. PD, dude, he will be on it, though. No one will dig deeper than this man. He wants to get that 16th win to equal Vuyo's record. The rough diamond from Sheffield. Sheffield Steel on track.
61.82 second fastest time.
Oh, Petey will be flying here. The big man knows how to carry speed. He was
He's
fast.
looking really good. He's looking very fast. Split time's coming up.
Look
oh, it's going to be fast. He's fast.
Oh,
Steve Peat's up.
Petey is up. He's
almost 1 minute up.
This is what we wanted to see. Petey digging deep. Get back on those pedals, Steve. Get those Sheffield legs cranking. There he goes. Yeah, Petey, man, a legend in world downhill. We're never going to see another guy with a career this long and successful, I'm sure. He is flat out.
And it's looking good coming down to the finish line here, Rob. He's got that double. He goes for the wide line on the double, pulling in some speed. He triples it on the last jump. He's going to cross the finish. He's done it! Steve Peat's got the first place here by, oh my goodness gracious, 0.93 ahead.
Nearly a
Steve
second
Peat
up.
has taken over the hot seat from Sam Hill. An unbelievable run by Steve Peat. And look at his time, 3:49.25.
He's made up with that. Petey knows he's done good.
He's only 0.75 off of the pace from Mick Hanna from the other day. This is going to be a very exciting final as it comes down.
Hot here in South Africa.
Oh my God, it's getting so hot here.
Petey looking like he's not even breathing, but I'm sure his heart rate's up there. Steve Peat, man, how does he do it? Every year he comes out. He's been doing the World Cup since 1993. Nearly 16 years.
Absolutely incredible.
At the top. How does he stay motivated? What drives him on? I wish I knew. The big man.
He's got new mouths to feed. That's what drives him on. I'll tell you that right away.
He'll be straight on his Learjet out of here tonight. Well, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow morning.
Maybe not tonight, eh?
He needs to get home fast. Boy number 2 on the way.
And he's starting his own franchise there. Hey, he's going to have a team of his own before you know it.
Probably while he's still racing at this rate.
Yeah, at this rate, that's for sure.
Well, there he is, super composed, Steve. You've got to be happy with that, man. I wish we could hear what he was saying. Here we go then.
Chris
Wild man, Chris Kovarik. He'll be motivated. He won a South African national here just a week ago. 3rd fastest qualifier. Here we go, we're back on the live, don't worry about it too much. So yeah, Chris Kovarik riding for Chain Reaction Cycles. You know, you got to remember, we go back a couple of years, well, a few years now.
He's off pace here at the drop for the steel drop.
A problem then for Kovarik for definite.
Yeah.
Kovarik's gone.
He's gone down somewhere on the top there.
Yep, it's over for Chris. Let's hope he's okay. Maybe a mechanical. You have seen the odd puncher here. He could have crashed, who knows. But what a shame for Chris.
That is
really
too bad.
Wanted to see him out there this week.
Hopefully he's okay. We don't get to see the picture of him, unfortunately. But you know, the fact that he hasn't even made it there by the 3:42 or the 2:42 mark says that he's not on his bike any longer. So he's definitely gone down up there somewhere. And hopefully we'll have an update and some information about what's happening with Chris Kovarik.
Yeah, Chris Kovarik then not coming into view. Not sure what's gone on there. Next man up after this, we have got reigning World Cup champion after an absolutely epic battle last year with Samuel on home soil. This man will be desperate this afternoon to win this one.
Hey, is it just me or has Petey's glasses gotten weirder and weirder as the years have gone by?
Funky, isn't they?
Funkier than hell, man.
Look at the size of those things.
Yeah, those are huge. They look like something my grandmother would have worn about 20 years ago. We have to talk to him about that.
Petey won't be too worried about his shades, I'm sure.
I don't think so either.
One hell of a run together.
He's put a great run together.
So Petey guaranteed a podium again. Dude, the bloke is 35 years old. I don't know how he does it, man. He just keeps coming out. Not only is he 35, he's been at this forever. But he looks composed, you know. He knows how to make a bicycle go down a mountain fast. This sport is super dangerous, mate. I mean,
it's super dangerous,
and I mean, so many injuries, and yet he's still
been around for so
back.
long, and he's run into trees, he's eaten trees, he's had up seasons and down seasons. 2004 was a terrible year for him. And then 2005, he came back and absolutely was a dominant rider. I mean, what can you say about Steve Peat? He's one of the fastest men on the planet when it comes to this sport. And I said it yesterday, and I maintain it today. He's so consistent, but he knows how to pull it together in the final run. He gets out there and he does what he needs to do for the qualification run. Sometimes he's the fastest in the qualies, sometimes he's not, but he knows how to make it come together in the finals. Unbelievable.
It's hunger for him. He's so hungry, which just amazes me. That hunger, mate. He must dig deeper. He admitted he hasn't trained that good. So here we go. Greg Minnaar, GM, stands for Greg Minnaar, stands for gold medal, and stands for gold mine. He's got a few of those in the local area, we're told. Minnaar, current world champion, 3 times a World Cup champion. That is not Greg Minnaar, that's Kovarik. He's okay. So Kovarik slowly making his way down, but he's had a mechanical or a crash. Looks like he's come off somewhere. But Greg Minnaar is on track. That is not Greg Minnaar. We've got to stop that crack habit of our producer. Dude, come on.
Now, where is Greg Minnaar? He's probably still up at the top waiting to start.
Here he is.
There we go.
So Minnaar
there we go.
Greg
Minnaar is on track. Let's see what his speed. 63.85. Oh my God, he's the fastest through the speed trap there.
He's had a fantastic winter's training. We know he's fit. All the pressure on him there though this afternoon.
Split time coming up. Let's see
it. Up, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Oh!
That's absolute blistering time here.
How's he done that? He's took a shortcut. That's unbelievable local knowledge there to go that fast.
He's been on the elevator down the whole time.
Dude, look how smooth he is. If he was any more fluid, he'd have to be liquidized. He is unbelievable.
He's going to come across that line in 45. It might even be 46, 47. He is so fast right now. Unbelievable, Rob.
No, man, where's he done? Does he do it? We know he's injury free. Super motivated.
He was 42, 43, 44.
Oh,
43, 44. Minus 581. Unbelievable.
Look at the time. Look at the time. P there, his teammate. They've got huge respect for each other. The first
3:43, 44 coming across the finish
that was
line.
inside.
That
Surely
blows
that's
away
enough.
the time from the qualifications by at least 5 seconds. That's incredible.
No, man, he's been around a long old time and he's still there. I mean, that was unbelievable. And he said, you know, he's been 3 times World Cup champion. He's never defended it. This year, I think he might. With form like that, he's going to have the rest of the field shaking in their boots. No, absolutely. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. No. Sometimes I just need to stop talking. But no, dude, that hurt him though. Look, he's hurting. The sweat pouring off him. He dug deep this afternoon, but his preparation this winter must have been incredible. Even going so fast there, he needed to scrub that step down.
Could have had a sandwich.
He could have stopped and had a cup of tea on the way down there, man. That was fast. Hill, all the boys, there is no questioning Minnaar's form this season. He has just answered all the questions. He is fit, and when we get to technical, Minnaar can do that as well. So, yeah, unbelievable there for Greg Minnaar. Nearly 6 seconds up, right? I mean, that's like winning a 100-meter sprint by 4 seconds or something.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Well,
I can't even believe that.
We should be seeing the last man on track. Sick Mick Hanna, the return of the Bushman.
Now you gotta ask yourself. Greg Minnaar comes across that line in 3:43. Sick Mick comes across the line in the qualification at 48. Let's see.
It's a good time.
Oh, he's well ahead by that drop here.
I'm not
He's
sure what
well
Minnaar
ahead.
did there, but he's on pace.
He's
that's
definitely
for
on
sure.
pace.
Sick Mick, he's got a new man basically. He got burnt out with this sport. But if he can keep his head together, he's had a year off.
Look at him. He's
come
super
back.
loose. He's super loose.
Come on, Mick. Let's see what you've got.
12th through the speed trap at 61.02. This may be a tell here. Let's see what the split time is as he comes down through this rock garden.
The 25-year-old from Kent.
Is he up? Is he up? No, he's not. Mick Hanna is 2 back, so it looks like it's going to be Greg Minnaar and Steve Peat taking the top 2 spots here for the event.
Second, I reckon.
Yeah, you think? I don't know.
It's going to move in a second. It's going to take
Let's see how it goes.
Human effort to catch those 2 seconds up, though. You'd need to teleport to the finish line.
Oh my God! But if anybody can do it, he can. He's got the sprint on. Look at him go. He's obviously squatted a lot during all that landscaping he did.
Yeah, he's a super powerful guy. It bodes well for the rest of the season, though. From the man from Northern Australia.
Check the count. Let's watch this as he goes across the lead. 45, 46. Second place for Mick Hanna.
I mean, what a respectable run. Showing his qualifier was no fluke there, but now it's all about Greg Minnaar. The dream ended to the dream race. He's winning on home soil. He's even put a trilby on. I don't know what that's about.
But look at this! Look at this! This podium. Minnaar, Hanna, and Peat. Unbelievable. Greg Minnaar, Mick Hanna, and Steve Peat are your podium here for the beginning of the 2009 UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. And what a way to start in South Africa here in Pietermaritzburg. The hometown of Greg Minnaar, the home crowd on his side.
Look at
unbelievable.
His fan club, the GM fan club are all over him like a cheap suit there. Picking him up, man. That is an unbelievable result for Greg Minnaar. You know what? We knew he was under pressure this afternoon. His team manager, Rob Roscott, earlier said, yeah, but he thrives on that pressure. And there he is. He's answered all the questions this afternoon. Minnaar taking his first win of 09. Starting where he left off from 08, the defending champion. This is going to get hot.
This is going to get very hot. Yeah.
It's going to be incredible when we move into Europe. We're going to see a lot of the guys you didn't see today do so good starting to come to the fore. And yeah, but Minnaar, you know, he is the all-rounder. He can do the power, he can do the technical, and he can definitely deliver when under pressure.
And he did deliver today with a time of 3:43.44. full 2.25 seconds ahead of Mick Hanna, who was totally loose as a goose, as we said earlier during the qualification, and it was surprising everybody with the way he reacted.
Mick will be happy with that, Troy.
Yeah, of course
He's
not,
had
after a year off.
Year out, and he has come back. First World Cup in over, 18 months. He's second. So, third was Steve Pete. Some 5.81 seconds. Pete will be happy with that.
Petey will definitely be happy with that.
He seemed pretty relieved, He said his preparation wasn't the greatest. This winter he's been busy with other things, with kids coming and stuff. But Petey, when we get into Europe, the guy is unbelievable on the technical tracks, like he showed us at the Worlds last year. Sam Hill in fourth. Now that was really an incredible ride.
That was a great ride from him.
Yeah, the fastest guy on the flat pedals there, Sam Hill, and that really does take some doing on a track like this.
Yeah.
It was just bumpy enough to roll his feet around as well. G. Atherton fifth. So Atherton, all the big guns then firing here this afternoon.
And Cameron Cole managed to get it.
Cameron Cole sixth. Yeah, look at that.
He's up there in the top 10, definitely.
The New Zealanders are coming, man.
That's fantastic for Cameron Cole.
And another New Zealander, seventh for Leo.
But just look at the time difference here, okay? Greg Minnaar, 3:43.44. The next closest rider, Mick Hanna, 2 seconds back, and then after him, another 3, almost 4 seconds plus back is Steve Pete. So what does that tell you about the speed and the knowledge of this course that Greg Minnaar has? It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, Minnaar, mate, he delivers. There you go then, confirmation. First Minnaar, 3:43. Second, Michael Hanna, 2.25 seconds off. Third, British legend Steve Pete. Fourth, Sam Hill. He's going to be, watch out for that man in the future rounds. G. Atherton, current world champion. Watch out for that man when we get into Europe. Cameron Cole, sixth. He'll be made up with that. Seventh, Leon. Eighth, Jared Graves, the four-cross legend, showing he is no slouch on a downhill bike. Ninth, Mark Beaumont. Well, he'll be made up with that. That's a return to form for Beaumont.
Definitely.
10th, Camellini. 11th, Nathan Rennie. That's a hell of a ride as well. 12th, Duncan Riffle. 13th, Dan Atherton. A respectable ride for Dan. 14th, local boy Andrew Needlin. Ivan Alego Moreno, the Spanish pinner. 15th. God damn, dude, what's his name?
Giordano. Aurelien Giordano.
Some 12 seconds back in 16th. So this course, despite being high speed, really spread out this men's field. Well,
on the women's side, let's not forget we've got Tracy Mosley absolutely dominating here, a full 6 seconds ahead of the second place Emmeline Rago, and then Sabrina Jeannier coming in another 2 seconds behind Emmeline. So the top three, very good there, but we've seen here Tracy Mosley and Greg Minnaar, absolutely the two dominant riders with a few seconds to spare. They could have had a break on there, flatted a tire, changed it, come down, and still won the event. Unbelievable. Fantastic racing here in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa for the beginning of the 2009 UCI Mountain Bike World Cup. Man, it's been exciting sitting here with you, Rob.
Yeah, you know what, man, that was the opening we wanted. And you know, the thing is, Troy, without a doubt, it's only going to get better from here on, and we're moving to the home of mountain biking to Europe. These proper tracks are coming up now, so we're really looking forward to the next one. We're going to wrap things up here now in Pietermaritzburg. We will see you at Offenburg in Germany for the live XC cross country on April the 25th. My colleague here, Troy, will be taking care of business there. Then on the 2nd of May, you can see us live and exclusive on freecaster.tv for the four-cross from Houffalize. That's the 2nd of May. And then I will be back for Le Bresse in France, the downhill, the second round, the awesome spectacle that it is, the 9th and 10th of May. So let's wrap this up then, Troy.
Yep. Thanks a lot for checking us out on freecaster.tv. Make sure you check back often, and make sure you check back on the scheduling to see when we'll be on air next. You just heard from Rob there. We'll be hitting up Offenburg is the next event, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys, hearing you guys, and finding out what's all going on out there in the world of the UCI Mountain Bike World Cup.
Yeah, thanks very much, Troy. This is Rob Warner, Troy Mannarin, closing things down here after an awesome opening round in Pietermaritzburg. We will see you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers.
All right, so we're going to get a little song.
Man.